Subscribe today, Tommy, if you love movies.
Hey, look at boobies! I like movies. Hey, Cinema Gulp, where are ya? Help!
Hey, take it easy.
But I lost Cinema Gulp.
Stay calm. Just go to YouTube to subscribe and hit the bell for all the latest videos.
Hey, we're Cinema Gulp and we drink your cinema.
Thanks, Joe. Now I can subscribe.
And subscribing is half the battle.
You know what? You don't have an answer for that, do you? F you, man. I'm sorry.
I like beer. It makes me a jolly good fellow.
Hey, I remember when.
Is this thing on? Hey, welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Let's turn that applause off there. Welcome to Cinema Go. Welcome to Hump Day Happy Hour. Cheers, you guys. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yes. It's not even Halloween, like Joanne said, but I'm drinking out of a cool-looking skeleton. Welcome again, Cinema Go. Triple H, if you consider Hump Day one word, which we do here. I want to welcome all of you and the Ayatollah of Flat Coca-Cola, the Al Bundy of Cajun Fried Shrimp. It's Scotty R37.
I feel perfectly safe myself.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Help yourself to a hand grenade.
You're very kind.
The dark angel of the dark web. It's Joanne. Hello, dear.
Cheers.
Cheers. And last but certainly not least, probably first, it's the Steelbook Slayer Cat. Hello. So today we're talking Wes Anderson movies. I don't know if that's everybody's cup of tea, just like his films, but I love them. And I've said multiple times that out of my generation, because his first movie, I believe, is 96, he's kind of my favorite filmmaker that's still consistently working. There's a lot of directors you could throw in there, Aronofsky, Tarantino. They're not as consistent as he is as far as output. So we'll talk about that. But I've always said that he is a filmmaker that doesn't have a genre because he in himself is a genre. Like, his movies are not categorized at all. They're very specific. They're stage play movies. What's that? Yeah, it's a Wes Anderson. Yeah. Like, you can say that. There's a lot of. I remember when Napoleon Dynamite came out, people were like, "Oh, that's like a Wes Anderson movie." I'm like, "Well, sort of, yeah." But I get what they were going for because there's deadpan humor and characters, but shot very flat. That movie was, but still very funny. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna get into that. But quickly. I want to do my my vinyl spin around segment first. I haven't done it in a little bit because I got some vinyl I want to share and give a nice little tribute. So,
Oh, I love it.
so I have I want to say R.I.P. Brian Wilson. He was an absolute legend and a very underground, underappreciated at the time, even to his bandmates, mastermind behind most of the music. He was one of the performers, but he was always the music creator of so much of it. And Pet Sounds was his baby. He did not, he had mental problems. The fact that he lived to 82 is insane because he had a lot of mental problems, drug problems way back in the day. He was on a lot of pharmaceutical,
assistance.
Yeah, and he lived a long life, and a lot of it was not easy. But I think that brought through his genius, like it does with so many people, musicians, painters, whatever. But Pet Sounds was his baby because he was not there with the band on tour. He was in the studio creating it and bringing in animals and bringing in orchestras, literally bringing animals in to create sounds based, obviously the name. And there's a good movie, really good movie from, I think, 2015 called Love and Mercy with Paul Dano and John Cusack, who play him at different points in his life. And they're both fantastic. And it really shows you the creation of Pet Sounds. So my my vinyl picks, I have Pet Sounds, but it's on the wall framed. So I wanted to show you, just in honor of him, I have Endless Summer, which has a lot of the classics on there. These are original pressings. They're not in great shape. Whoa, what happened there?
Making you big, buddy.
Oh, I thought I was big. Okay, sorry. I'm big, but California Girls, another one. This one plays okay, but the sleeve's a little messed up because the previous owner left it in a milk crate outside, so it got really sun faded and stuff like that. But there's so much great stuff on here. Oh my God, right off the bat, you have Surf and Safari. Oh my God, I Get Around. That's a good one. I Get Around was in Flight of the Navigator, amongst other films. The Pee Wee Herman song, or the Pee Wee Herman alien voice did I Get Around. Anyway, I don't know where I was going with that. But Brian Wilson's a huge, amazing person and the influence in the music business just for his raw sort of creativity more than anything else. All of them, their vocal styles were all utilized together, but he's the one that made them kind of who they were, not in the pop sense. I think that's why Pet Sounds stands out so much, because it's different than the other Beach Boys albums because he made it himself. And I just think it's a great story. And if you haven't seen Love and Mercy, you should check it out because everything I'm talking about is displayed much better in the film. But thank you, Scotty. But yeah, I just wanted to show some of my Beach Boys vinyl. I do have Pet Sounds, but I'm not taking it off the wall. It's definitely the best Beach Boys album ever created. But yeah, I just wanted to say rest in peace to Brian Wilson. He's an amazing musician. So
yeah, thanks, Brian.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Yeah, I like to celebrate the life. The passing is hard, but I think he's a dude that peace is finally upon him. And through the troubled times that he had, he gave us a lot of great art. And I can only say thank you for your suffering and your genius, man.
That's perfectly said. Yeah, yeah. Okay, well, enough of that.
Sly Stone as well.
Oh, yes. Sorry. I was looking. I know I have a Family Stone record. I couldn't find it in time. But yeah, definitely RIP to him as well. Another great, wow, in a couple of days.
Both of them, both the same age.
Oh, they were both the same age. Okay. Well, that's they got to live long lives and leave behind massive legacies, which we all hope to do. Mine is already set in stone. It's Cinema Gulp. Come on.
Yeah.
I don't have kids.
So,
I have Cinema Gulp.
Hours and hours and hours of video diary on the internet saying, and this is what kind of an asshole he was.
That's a good line. I don't have kids. I got Cinema Gulp.
Yeah. Hey, it's facts. It's facts. That's all I'm here to say.
That is your kid. It is your baby.
No, my baby's right over there.
That's your real baby. Your fur baby.
Yeah, but and because I just jumped right in, Scotty, with the vinyl section, did you have a DVD section today? I know you did a big one last week.
Yes.
You still got
still have more.
Let's do it.
Yes, sir.
You will have an ice cream headache.
Never gets old.
I like it. I think it's great. So part of the thing when I go and I buy in bulk is that I usually go to the pawn shop afterwards and try and unload all the garbage that I don't want and see if I can get credits for it. Now, there wasn't a lot of gold in that box. I took all the gold. So the resaleability of everything, not much. Oddly enough, there's a copy of the Royal Tannenbaums. No one will take that, because I think it is legally obligated for everyone to have a copy of the Royal Tenenbaums. So you can't sell it. You can't give it away. But I did get a couple, and then I did get a long-awaited special edition re-release slipcover extravaganza that I will save until the end. But what I got, these are my personals. If you don't like them, then I understand. But I did have to pick up my own copy of Grandma's Boy. I was very, very surprised. Now, simply because it is the supporting cast of every Adam Sandler movie. And then you get a bunch of incredible cameos who show up. Rob Schneider, Adam Sandler shows up. Like the people who are in, people who are in this.
I love David Spade's Shiloh.
Yeah. David Spade and Linda Cardellini at her absolutely hottest.
Oh, she's a knockout. Yeah.
Alan Covert and Peter Dante hold this movie together. It is absolutely fantastic and nostalgic for original Xbox video games and just complete irreverent turn of the century Adam Sandler humor. It is amazing.
Well, Joanne, obviously, you know Tony.
Yeah.
Very well. But so our friend Tony is a video game designer, and he was on huge games, right? Wasn't he on like Diablo something? He's on a lot of really big games. As like a big part of the yeah. And Grandma's Boy is his favorite movie because it's a gamer movie. You know, it just he says it's like very realistic as far as like how everybody acts and behaves in those environments. So
And
Grandma's played by the chick that was literally grandma age for 20 years.
This is true. Doris Roberts. But yeah, this has audio commentary. This is by no means a light release. So it is special feature heavy. I did watch it and I did enjoy the incredible. I don't care what color it is. I just want to get stoned. So then,
God, there's so many quotable lines in that movie, man.
Yes. Oh no, it's absolutely, and especially I forget the name of the actor who plays the head of the video game company with the robot.
The guy that's in Avatar and he's the best part of the movie when he shows up.
He's great. So then to switch gears a little bit, and the only reason I got this is because it was actually, I know I did this for a trade-in, but it was surprisingly cheap. The director's cut of Any Given Sunday. I'd had a hankering to watch this for or rewatch it for a very long time. I do believe it's based on a book called It's Only a Scratch, which is the story of a doctor in the NFL, and basically, or at least he was a contributor to the film because of all of the, let's say, questionable medical practices to get the boys back on the field. So I wanted to check this again, and it is the director's cut, which I have not seen. And then this one's also not shy on the special features either. It's got an audio commentary from Oliver Stone and an audio commentary from Jamie Foxx as well, if I remember correctly. Yep.
It was a movie that was not super well received when it first came out, outside of Jamie Foxx's pretty much star-making performance in that movie.
Yeah.
But has since become, 26 years later, it's considered one of the best football movies ever made. And I agree. I loved it from the first time I saw it. I think it's extraordinary. It's probably my favorite Oliver Stone movie.
Oh, wow.
Well, no, I mean, there's a couple I like better, but when you get out of the 80s, I don't like Oliver Stone quite as much, but that's one of my favorite Oliver Stone movies.
Yes. So I'm happy to, I haven't yet rewatched this, but I am going to, and I'm looking forward to seeing the director's cut. Then in a complete, these next two are going to be out of left field. I don't know why, but I wanted to see this because I had recently rewatched the Peanuts movie. I had rewatched the Muppet movie. I had rewatched Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and I remembered this as being sort of one of those road trip comedies. And I remember being disappointed at the time. I really liked it because it is, if you take it for what it is, it's a silly kids movie, but it's also a Rocky and Bullwinkle movie. So they try and be meta. It's not as of its time, like references. There's not a lot of who let the Bullwinkle out or things like that, or what's up. That's only in the trailer. It doesn't show up. But also,
dude, like I'm sorry.
I was pleasantly surprised.
Robert De Niro saying, "Are you talking to me?" Like,
yes,
dude, come on.
That is Robert De Niro. He is one of the producers on the film. Apparently, it was one of his passion projects. And yeah, it is interesting to see him just for that. It is almost so bad it's good, but I still think it's got heart. I did enjoy, and they definitely needed to make Rocky and Bullwinkle larger on the cover. But again, is there an audio commentary? No, there's no audio commentary on this one.
Wait, Rocky and Bullwinkle are also in this? It's like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they look like sidekicks or something.
It's television's Jason Alexander.
Yeah. You know, cool thing for me personally. I went to Chapman University, and they actually filmed some scenes for this movie at Chapman. So for a while, a bunch of the buildings were, they had these fun fake names on them and stuff. So if you didn't already belong to the school, you didn't know where you were going to go to your class.
So you actually attended Wes-Verse U?
Yes.
Nice.
My BS is from there.
That's why she's an awesome graphics designer, because that's basically the best graphics design school there is.
Thank you.
And then last but not least, this is something that I ordered when they announced it. Vinegar Syndrome put out a special edition of a movie that has not had a proper release. This one is Dirty Work.
Oh my God.
And
why are there so many dead hookers in these trunks?
And it's got the slip cover. Before we get to the slip cover, it's also got liner note booklets with introductory essays talking about the production. It's fairly decent. I've read one of the essays because I can't
read anything in yellow.
Not even like Pulp Fiction credits. It's on the brown background, so it's not that.
I think Artie Lang was just a main character just as much as Norm. He should have been on the cover.
Sure.
He should have been on the cover.
And so the fish, which is actually the DVD menu, is just them sitting there holding the fish.
Is so funny, man. When they're holding those fish and all those people are dying in the other room.
So I think it's just hilarious considering that this is like a $13 million movie directed by Bob Saget that got a 4K transfer. So I think that the case itself is hilarious. It does come with 3 discs. Which, it's got the Blu-ray with feature-length documentary, and then also it's got the original theatrical cut, the director's cut, the work print, and several audio commentaries, not just by the writers, but also by the archivists. So
the director's cut's R-rated, right, Scotty?
Yes, it is.
Norm wanted it. He wrote it as an R-rated movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
And one of the anecdotes is that Artie Lang didn't want to play in the movie opposite Chevy Chase because he heard Chevy Chase was
an asshole.
and he actually ended up having a really good time with Chevy Chase. And the one thing that they did fight for, and Chevy was attracted to it just because of how raunchy the source or how the script was. And he said, just make sure that they don't turn it into a PG-13 movie. They are going to make it into a PG-13 movie, and everything that Chevy had said during their initial meetings came to pass. So it's nice to have it back in all of its glory. I'm not a big fan of the fugly slipcover, but I want
to see the director's cut so bad.
I do like the fish. I do think that the fish is
the fish is the funniest part of the movie. So it's kind of like an inside joke. If you've seen the movie, the fish make you laugh when you see that. But like 10 years after the movie came out, when Artie Lang was like a big part of the Howard Stern show, they had Chevy Chase on, and Artie Lang is talking about working with Chevy Chase and to Chevy Chase, and Chevy Chase goes, "I have no idea who you are. I don't remember you at all." Like typical asshole Chevy Chase.
But that, and oddly enough, you went to Wes-Verse U. It was filmed in Toronto, and so the movie theater where Rickles sort of browbeats everybody and just basically is Don Rickles to Norm and Artie. That was the movie theater that I used to go to regularly in Erin Mills Town Center in Mississauga. Actually, it's in Erin Mills, but Mississauga, Ontario. So there is shooting locations that I have attended there. I think that's actually where I went to go see Tomorrow Never Dies. And there's a Tomorrow Never Dies poster in Dirty Work. So it's
oh
fun.
my God. Yeah. The same year, right? The same year. Yeah. Yeah.
There are 2 James Bond posters in that film, actually. Anyway, I just watched it after doing my Wes Anderson marathon of the day. I cleansed the palate with some dead hookers.
Dude, Dirty Work is so underrated. So is Grandma's Boy. I mean, these pickups you got are some of my favorite comedies ever.
Nice.
Really good pickups you got, man. Really good. This might be my favorite DVD segment that you've ever done because just love these films.
Well, that
Anything else you got?
That's it. That's all.
Let's say hello to Lemon.
Lemon.
Hey, Lemon Pie. Thanks for being here. Hello, Ben and friends. And also, Norm McDonald. Yes, I know. Got another. Jesus, man. We were losing all the greats, man. How will Wes Anderson films fare under? I'm dying to know myself, sir. We will find out. And I both Scotty and Kat really did some homework since I brought up this. This is going to be the discussion tonight. Joanne, not that you didn't. It's just they were telling me like they were watching a bunch of stuff. Well, Joanne or Kat goes nuts. Like she's like, okay, I'm just going to watch every single Wes Anderson movie in 2 days.
Yeah, that's awesome. If I had time, I would. But I've seen a few.
Joanne.
Yes.
I'm afraid for the calendar. Its days are numbered.
Oh boy.
What do you got?
That's a good one. How do you contact an amoeba?
How?
Via cellular phone.
My wife said I should do lunges to stay in shape. That would be a big step forward.
That's a good one. I gotta think. Let someone else go.
I can give you another one. Mine start to get a little bit more dirty daddy. My sex life is like a Ferrari. I don't have one.
Thought it was gonna be about purring or something, but no.
What does every Tickle Me Elmo get before it leaves the factory? 2 testicles. Get it? Testicles.
I got it.
Yeah. Well, dad jokes sometimes you have to explain. They're real brain busters, you know.
Oh, I got one.
Got it.
What's a shark's favorite saying? Man overboard.
What is it called when what is it called? Oh wait, you do another one. I'll remember this one.
Okay. I had a quiet game of tennis today. You know why? There was no racket.
I like that one. All right. What is it called when a chameleon can't change colors? A reptile dysfunction.
That might be my favorite one so far. That's a really good one.
That's all I got for today. You got any more?
What happened when 2 slices of bread went on a date? It was a loaf at first sight.
Oh, God.
So bad. I guess the price for the worst one.
Well, that's it for our dad joke.
No, we got Ash D420 in the chat.
Yeah.
Where do rainbows go when they are bad? Prisms.
I actually haven't seen you in so long. Thank you for being here. Wow, it's good to see you. Yeah, dad jokes are welcome. Everybody. We're doing it. We're doing the dad jokes. We got some applause and some giggles. Another one. What's the difference between Iron Man and Aluminum Man? You got to tell us.
Type it in quick.
Oh,
Oh,
I don't think that's the answer.
No, I
I
know,
thought
but
the
that's
answer was like, oh, I don't know. It's been a while.
yeah, that is actually really funny because dad jokes are kind of old jokes. I like that. I don't know. I actually don't know the punchline.
Okay, I think here's the punchline. So, what's the difference
Where is
between Iron Man and Aluminum Man? One stops the bad guys, the other follows the plans. Okay. Or other foils. Is it supposed to be foils the plans? Or
Aluminum. Yes, foils.
Okay,
Yes.
that's good. That's good, SG. I like it. See, I told you, Joanne, this segment would work. We've already got some engagement just from our dad jokes. I love it. Let's quickly get into the box office, shall we?
Yes, let's.
So, no surprise on pretty much anything here, I don't think. But we have Lilo and Stitch definitely going to get knocked off this weekend with How to Train Your Dragon. I keep hearing that movie's fantastic, but it's like, yeah, because so is the original. And I hear this is basically shot for shot. So it's like, yeah, it's amazing. So, John Wick, the ballerina movie, not doing so good. I don't think it's going to end up making its money back in any way, shape, or form, unfortunately. Maybe it will. Speaking of another movie that's not going to make its money back, Mission Impossible, The Final Dickening. Karate Kid Legends, I don't know how much a movie cost to make, but I hear it sucks, and it's not doing very well. Final Destination Bloodlines is still hanging in there.
I saw that last weekend. It was so good.
Great. It's so good. It's so fun.
Good.
And one of the movies we're going to discuss in a few minutes, The Phoenician Scheme, typical for a Wes Anderson movie. They never really,
They bomb.
they don't bomb because they don't spend a lot on them.
Well, they
usually
bomb
make
between marketing and even the limited production costs. Like only a few of them have actually made money.
Well, no, but what I mean by that is like Searchlight and Focus Features, like they keep him around because they like the street cred. They like his movies, so they know they're not going to turn any kind of a profit, with your exceptions like Grand Budapest made a shitload of money for how much it cost. But most of them,
the most successful,
but most of them don't. But that doesn't take away from the quality of them. It's just a very acquired taste. But what else do we have here? Jesus, Sinners still hanging in there. Thunderbolts, I guess now considered a complete dud from their own studio. That's fine. I liked it. That's fine. I don't know what that says about Marvel movies moving forward, that even the good ones don't get really viewed at all anymore. So we'll see how the Fantastic Four does. I don't really care at this point, but I'm kind of checked out when it comes to that stuff. But I'll probably see it anyway. But
I'm jazzed for Fantastic Four, and I think it is sort of a situation where it's like it's not the same blind trust where you could turn Thunderbolts into Guardians. But if there's one thing representative of comic book fans, and I think this is going to translate, and quote me if I'm wrong, is that'll translate to the MCU audiences as well, is issue number 1 of any ongoing series is probably going to draw people in, as long as it's, they're making a Fantastic Four number 1 again? Okay. Then it's the same as getting like an Amazing Spider-Man, a Spectacular Spider-Man.
Amazing Spider-Man, perfect example. Like short turn. Well, this is a 10-year turnaround from the last Fantastic Four, but I know what you mean. Yeah, same type of, like, we're doing it again. But this one seems ambitious considering the setting and like the time placement of it. And, I guess it's a different universe, but I like that they're doing something different with like not placing it in at least our reality. Yes. So that should make sense. Yeah. I'm just Pedro'd out, man. He's got like fucking 2 movies coming out in July. It's like, stop it with the Pedros. We've seen it enough. Real quick before we move on, I want to say hi again. Sorry, I forgot to say hi to everybody. Scotty, Ben, Kat, Elvirus. She watches the show. She knows. I didn't even say Elvirus, or unless that's on your thing.
Yeah, I put it in my name, but I don't know if it's showing up Either way.
I love the new Final Destination. Yeah, I did too. It's definitely it's right up there as my favorite opening with the second one with the freeway disaster. It might be better. It's a little CGI'd out, but it's very creative with its deaths. So I will say it's tied for the best opening for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. Well, we did it. Let's get into it. And Joanne, I know you haven't seen it yet, but it's a Wes Anderson movie. There's really not much to spoil. It's not like a mystery. Like, we're probably just going to talk about what we thought about the writing, cinematography, goofiness,
go for
like
it.
that. But I know, Kat, you saw it last night, and I think you liked it. What did you think of the Phoenician Scheme?
Really good, very good movie. It's typical styles there, but I like that it's not this oversized ensemble. It's just, it sort of unfolds like a series of vignettes as the three characters got to go to 5 different people to get done what they're trying to, because he's manipulated markets because he wants to overhaul the infrastructure of Phoenicia out in, near Syria and Lebanon in that area. And he wants to use slave labor to build this infrastructure project. And the other world governments like the United States don't like the fact that he's doing this. And so they manipulate markets to jack up the price of building materials. So he decides he has to go around and swindle 5 of the investors in the project to get them to contribute an additional 25% each. And he gets very mixed, mostly poor results. And each little thing becomes like a mini powder keg for how's he going to get out of this, and has to, dream his way out of it as we go down the line. And I thought it was a really fun movie.
It's great how they show the checklist between every scene. It's like
showing the math.
Goal 25%, actual 0%. Yeah, it's
and Benicio del Toro was great. I like that they gave him the lead in this.
Me too, because he really stood out in the French Dispatch, and I'm like, dude, this guy should have been in more Wes Anderson movies, and I think he's been in every one since that. Was he in Asteroid City? I can't remember. No, that's right. But you're right. He fits right in with Anderson. And I'll jump in real quick. Speaking of who fits in with Anderson, Michael Cera feels like he's been in other Wes Anderson movies. He just gets the assignment. Me and Josh, Joanne, we were laughing every time he opened his fucking mouth. We were laughing.
That's awesome. Because one of the things, if I may just interject, even though I haven't seen this movie, but one of the things that's cool about the Wes Anderson films are he uses a lot of the same actors every time. So, and I was curious, so I looked it up. I'm like, what's his reason for doing that? And there's a lot of different reasons, and one of them is that they already get the tone. It's faster, it's easier. He doesn't have to explain it to them. They know what they're doing already. So it's cool. It's cool to hear what you just said.
Yeah, when you see a famous actor or actress pop up in one, you get that test right off the bat by how they deliver it. Do they get him or not? And in Asteroid City, when I was watching Scarlett Johansson, I'm like, oh, she gets it. She is fucking in it. She loves the Wes Anderson verse. And then here she is in this one, very small part. And I agree with Kat. I really like that this one keeps it basically those 3 characters, and then they jump around to meet other characters from actors that we've seen in the Wes-Verse. But I appreciated that so much. That's basically these 3 characters instead of a huge ensemble. And I did read a quick little snippet of that in your review before I went and saw it, and you're 100% right. But Scotty, you just saw it, right?
Yes, I watched it this morning.
What'd you think?
I liked it. I thought it was fun. I had heard that it was going to be one of the more surreal, quirky ones, but I thought that this was fairly straightforward. I enjoyed it. I thought it was great in terms of the conceit of the film, it being going off to see each investor. And so there is the anticipation of where we're going next, but never getting bored of where we are. Mostly it reminded me of Grand Budapest Hotel, where you stayed with Ralph Fiennes' character for most of the movie, and the sidekick bellboy. I don't know everybody's name. There are far too many people in these pageants, but it was you stick with them and everything they go to, whatever action they're going to do. And so it went at a very good clip. I really enjoyed it.
Nice.
And of course, the performances. I'm never unhappy when I see Tom Hanks or Bryan Cranston doing something that isn't just innately them when they're actually flexing some sort of acting muscle. Yeah, I thought
that was one of the best scenes in the movie. Just out of nowhere, this basketball game, and like,
yeah. And then also, like, it's fun to see someone who I recognize, but I never see very often, with Matthew Almeric, who was Green in Quantum of Solace. And so it's like, oh yeah, no, I'm glad. Which is kind of interesting because, again, you have 2 Bond villains at least in this movie.
Wow. Oh yeah, that's right. Benicio. From Don't Tell Me. License to Kill.
That's right.
Yeah. See, I know my Bond. I know what's up. Yeah, it was just every time I also watch a Wes Anderson movie, I just have a smile on my face in the theater. Like, I love his dialogue. Every time I'm watching one, I've been watching him for almost 30 years, watching his movies, and I'm always amazed by his dialogue and just the intricacies and the details of the story being told. Like, we're going to talk about the Phoenician Scheme. Everything's in a shoebox and everything is situated in this and this and this. And it's just like the actors, when they get the script, they're probably like, what the fuck? Like, am I going to have to, like, how much homework am I going to have to do for this? None, because it's his own world. There's no past, present, future in Wes Anderson movies. I've always said that the Royal Tenenbaums takes place out of time. Everyone's dressed like they're in the 70s. It never specifically says when it is. I think his movies, they do what they're supposed to do. They take you to another place. And I hate the term world building. Fuck that. It's just like you get invested. There's usually a heart in these, and we'll get into that when we talk more about his other films. Some have more heart than others. But yeah, now I'm just going off on a tangent. But just last night, I was just happy watching an hour and 35-minute long movie just work in every way, And I know he switched to cinematographer, but it doesn't matter because it's a Wes Anderson movie. It's always going to look like it's changing stages between, intermissions and plays. That's the way his shit looks. And I think Desplat did this one again. He does some that are more memorable than others. This one was fine. But he has Desplat in his corner. He has Randall Poster doing all his music supervision. It's just, I don't know. Anyway, sorry, blabbing. I'm just such a big fan of his. So, I'll blow him all night long,
Well, yeah, there's plenty of time to blow. You don't have to make the man come right away.
I'm happy you guys all liked it too, because so did I. Yeah.
Hey, old man bird, good to see you. Welcome to the conversation. Please tune the harpsichord accordingly.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Let's see. Hot pepper rating pan. Oh, look at that. Yeah. Hey, sometimes you never know with whoever. I've been doing Cinema Gulp with John for 9 years, and I still to this day have no idea what he's thinking about a film while we're watching it together. I just have no idea. I'll think it's the greatest movie ever made and think he's gonna like it, and he'll be like, "Yeah, that movie sucked." I just never know. So.
It's so easy to carry a movie. And again, I know there's a lot of praise just for Benicio del Toro, but the man was just oozing charisma. Yeah. This almost felt like sort of a companion piece. It was like, oh, this is the kind of asshole that Royal Tenenbaum was before he became completely disgraced.
He does that a lot. And we'll get into that as we talk about our favorites. But there's the Royal Tenenbaums with Royal. This one, obviously, with Benicio, and then even like Steve Zissou in The Life Aquatic. There's a lot of like father-son, father-daughter estranged stuff going on. And I always wonder if like Wes Anderson had something like that going on in his life. Because even Darjeeling Limited, like there's a lot of that estranged kids from their parents stuff. But why don't we, let's just move into talking about Wes Anderson, our favorites. Our least favorite. Somebody answer that.
Commissioner Gordon?
Sorry, I am so bad with the audio clips. But you know, what do you guys think? I'm thinking, Joanne, I know you haven't seen them all, but do you want to go through the ones you have seen, and maybe you can tell me, start with your least favorite, and just go ahead and talk the whole list.
Okay, yeah. So I've seen just a handful. I've actually missed some big ones. I really want to see, like Royal Tenenbaums. Like I still need to see that. So that's like
okay.
Huge
You're cut.
I know.
Cut. You're gone.
That's it. It's over. You had one job.
But you invited me. No, so I know I'm missing a few, but if you want to start in the least favorite order, it's probably Moonrise Kingdom. I didn't really enjoy that one that much. I don't know why, but I did see that in the theater. I saw The Life Aquatic. That's probably my next one up the list, and I thought that was interesting. I love Bill Murray, so that was like the main attraction for me, and that was before I really understood what his style, what Wes Anderson's style was. So I kind of thought it was weird, but I still enjoyed it. Then I got to the Grand Budapest Hotel. I really enjoyed that one, and I started like appreciating more of his style. And then I think actually my favorite one was the French Dispatch, which I believe I saw with you, Ben.
More recent one. Yeah, you saw it with me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
and that's
I
a series of vignettes. That's the first time he did that.
Yeah. Right. Which I thought was really cool. And in those last two that I saw, that's when I just realized, like, wow, like what a difficult achievement that he did, that where you see just a still frame or like a little, beginning of a trailer, and you're like, that's a Wes Anderson film just from the visual. And as a graphic designer, I'm like, how do you do that? I mean, that is really a great achievement that everyone, whether they love or hate Wes Anderson films, like they should really stop and think about how big of an achievement that really is.
Yeah.
For me, it's like I had to stop and think, like, why do I recognize it? For me, it's colors, usually, just like his very unique color schemes, those weird combination, like they're really unique color combinations, and you can just tell that it's him. Which is like, if you had the goal to do that, and you're like trying to think, okay, how am I going to make people recognize my stuff just by using color? That's amazing to achieve something like that.
Especially because his movies come off so colorful, but a lot of the color he uses is neutral colors.
Yeah, or muted. Sometimes it's like, sometimes it's black and white with pops of color, or sometimes it's like pastels that are combined with other colors, like Grand Budapest has a lot of like
Grand Budapest is his most colorful film, I think. Yeah.
Like I remember like pink, reds, and purples. And I realized it's not only color. That's just the first thing that popped out to me, was like why he's visually recognizable to me. But what's cool also as a graphic designer is that, like, the fonts, and I was like, yeah, I recognize like that font and that font too. And it's like he uses Futura a lot, and he uses Courier too. Like, it's really cool. So just as a graphic designer, I really appreciate what he's done with that. And of course, there's more stuff that has to do with film, like the way he centers things. Like a lot of times, like it'll be like a aerial shot, and then like people walking in straight lines, and then everything he does with the actors too, the way that they, like you talked about, deadpan stuff. So just everything that he combined, all the elements he combined to create his own style is really, everyone should appreciate that.
Oh, I agree. Just in terms of like the blocking and framing of shots as well. Like it is stylistically a point of view from him. And again, like, yeah, as you mentioned, he changed cinematographers, but he's always, like, I think he started off wanting to get into film by basically being production design. He would make dioramas, and that was a lot of the stuff that he, even when he started off with doing Tannenbaums, he had built the house where they grew up and did little dioramas and everything that were inside, and then it became part of the set. I think it actually ended up being in one of the kids' rooms. But yeah,
Well, and even though you don't see every single square inch of that house in Tannenbaum's, you feel like you have.
Oh yeah,
and he does that with everything. Even French Dispatch, those just like 2-dimensional shots of somebody going through. My favorite is in Life Aquatic, where you see the architecture and the layout of the boat, and like, you know, every little room, and they show you every little detail. Here's a little thing where you can hang out and look at the bottom of the ocean, and you know, it's just spectacular. It's all just fun.
Well,
Really
and even then, it was introduced in Life Aquatic is when you started getting those little claymation marionette, like for the undersea creatures, and making it a little bit more fantastical, which dovetails you go right into Fantastic Mr. Fox. And then even after, and obviously Isle of Dogs, but then in one of them that I watched today, The Wonderful Story of Harry Sugar, which is on Netflix. There's a point there where there's an animatronic, like I don't know if it's CGI or if it's stop motion, but either way, it looks like it's intended to look the same way as Fantastic.
It's probably
Mr.
stop
Fox.
motion. Yeah.
Well, it's probably they can do CGI stop motion nowadays
and make it look. Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
But I don't know in terms of the purism of Wes Anderson. But I would imagine if he can do it, he would. But the alien in Asteroid City was CGI, or at least he appeared to be. But it's just interesting that fantastical element of a special effect then becomes somewhat more prevalent in future works. I thought it was great.
And one more thing about his visual style, like even though you recognize it, it's not like all the movies look the same. Like there might be some consistent elements, but like they've got, you know, different color schemes. Like it might be consistent color scheme throughout this movie, but then it's a different consistent color scheme in the other movie.
Well, that's a good point, Joanne, because he never wants to use the same setting twice. Like you have a movie on a train, you have a movie in a house, you have a movie in a city, you have a movie on a boat, you have a movie based in basically a hotel. 2 movies in a hotel, because Bottle Rocket Bottle Rocket is before he found his footing as far as aesthetic goes. We'll get to that, but I love that movie. I dissected the shit out of it with John when we did a first of the best on it, but he doesn't have, it's got the quirkiness, but it doesn't have the aesthetic yet when it comes to that. I think Rushmore shows a little bit of it, but Royal Tenenbaums is where you're like, okay, this is what this guy is, you know?
But I think his composition of shot and framing of the shots, that's still present. And certainly the delivery style of the performances in Bottle Rocket, it is, you can see the germination of, it's like, okay, I think I know where this can, like maybe not I know where this can go, but if you trace it back, you can see definitely the DNA of what carries forward throughout all of his films as well.
Oh, absolutely. And when we did First of the Best, we were naming specific shots, type of shots, whip pans, things like that. Like we're like, okay, he's working it all out here, but he's trying, you know, he was a first time filmmaker. So he was like, I got to make sure the story's right. I got to make sure the characters are doing what I want. And what a great exercise to do that with Bottle Rocket, because it is a character piece more than anything else.
Yeah, and the characters still felt like real people at that point.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. They really do. They're not cartoonish yet. Yeah.
He hasn't done the whole deadpan delivery of everything yet. And
no. I think Owen Wilson's character in that is sorry, go ahead.
You don't have the framing there that you had in, say, Royal Tenenbaums or some of the aesthetic, and it kind of goes all over the place, but it's a very different type of movie. But it still feels like a Wes Anderson film when you're watching it.
It does. Yeah. The dialogue's there. And the Owen Wilson character is like, that's your like first baby of what a Wes Anderson character is going to be like, you know, and it makes sense because Owen Wilson, I think, wrote 2 or 3, maybe 3 movies with Wes Anderson. I know he co-wrote Royal Tenenbaums and Bottle Rocket. I don't know if he had anything to do with Rushmore, but early on he did, and it makes sense because that's kind of like what Owen Wilson is like a revelation in Bottle Rocket. Like you're like, who the fuck is this guy? And this guy's awesome. And he has a funny scene in The Cable Guy, I think later on in that year or whatever. But yeah, I you know, Joanne, I love everything you said because I feel the exact same way. And it's like, you haven't seen every one of them, but you understand his aesthetic to the key.
Yeah,
it's like looking at the top of a birthday cake, you know, sometimes. Yeah. Like, you know,
it's amazing. It really is. Like, I think it's really cool.
So what's your favorite? Did you say?
My favorite is The French Dispatch.
Oh, over Grand Budapest. That's right. You did say that.
Yeah. But they're close, you know. I think they're
Dispatch has another great 2D scene where you just see everything inside of the newspaper, and it's just wonderful. Yeah. Gives me all the feels.
No, I know, it's really cool. And going back to the cast thing, I read that Bill Murray actually shows up to every one of his movies, even if he's in it and not in it.
Well, yeah, he wasn't able to be in Asteroid City due to scheduling. So I want to say I've heard that the Tom Hanks role was his role, and that makes sense. But then, you know, Tom Hanks did a really great job in Asteroid City, so he's here again in the Phoenician Scheme. I would really rather have Bill Murray, but Bill Murray does show up in the Phoenician Scheme, which I didn't know he was going to do, and it's great when you see him.
I knew that for a few months who he was playing in that one. I'm like, okay,
it's so funny.
That's awesome.
I thought Bill Murray was supposed to play Steve Carell's part in Asteroid City.
Oh, is that what it was? It was one of those parts. Yeah.
But then there is a promotional, like a fake promotional trailer that was done on set with Jason Schwartzman and Bill Murray, and it's just, I think it's like Bill Murray comes out and he says he's the mayor of Asteroid City or something along those lines, and it's the two of them and they go over it. It was just released recently, I think.
Yeah, you're right. He was cast as the motel manager, but he had to drop out because he got COVID. And he did show up. He actually, once he recovered, he actually on his own turn, he just traveled to Spain where they were shooting the movie to see if Wes could add a role for him. And that's when he came up with the idea that he could play the business titan of the company bearing his name. And they did that short promotional thing for it, even though it's not a movie. So you're right.
Another great person to join the universe that just gets the assignment was Adrian Brody. And he had some of those scenes in Asteroid City that you didn't see coming, where it really shifts into that like behind the scenes of a theater play, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? Those scenes were like really intense, you know, with the music thumping, and I was like, oh wow. But Adrian Brody had already been in Darjeeling, but you know, let's get into it. I will drop what's that?
He's been in like 4 of them now, I think.
Now he has, yeah. I'll drop my least favorite. I'll do my. I love all Wes Anderson movies, so none of these are bad in my mind. They all are enjoyable. They all have great acting. They all have great dialogue. Darjeeling Limited is my least favorite. I just didn't connect with it. I think it's at the time in my life when I saw it. I just wasn't. I just couldn't get into it. And I think it was a weird time in Owen Wilson's life where he was like breaking up with Kate Hudson or whatever. So they had to work the story around his depression because he couldn't act like Owen Wilson.
Well, he was coming off his suicide attempt too, remember?
I'm sorry. I shouldn't be laughing. Yeah, he's coming off his suicide attempt. Yeah. But I still enjoy the movie. I love the setting. I just didn't connect with it as much as some of his other ones. And it's funny, Joanne, and I forgive you for this because you haven't seen a few of his really, really, really masterpieces. But, The French Dispatch is next for me. I love all these movies. The vignette thing worked. I love it that he tried it, and I love it that he did it. I just think that the first one, Benicio, is the best, and the one with who's the kid, the twink?
Timothée Chalamet.
Timothy Chalamet. I thought that one was pretty good with him and Frances McDormand.
We
The
know each
third
other's
one-
brains, my friend.
The
If
third
you're going
one
to
was
say
kind-
twink publicly, it better be about Timothy Chalamet.
The third one was kind of a mess, even though it was fun. The cartoon stuff didn't really work for me that much. But I do love the through line. I love it that it's 3 vignettes, but it does have a main plot, which is Bill Murray running the paper. And I love how all that stuff intertwines together. I just found I just found 2 of the 3 vignettes not up to the level of Wes Anderson that I want. Not from set design or anything, just from the stories that they're telling. So those are my 2 least. Anybody, Kat, Scotty, who wants to go?
Well, I agree with you in terms of Darjeeling is my least favorite. Okay, so
a lot of people's least. Yeah,
I have not seen Isle of Dogs, and I have not seen The French Dispatch. So that is, if maybe I won't like them more than I already dislike. And I wouldn't say dislike Darjeeling. I'm with you. Maybe it's just because it is sort of a it's melancholy. It's more melancholy than the rest, and it is based on 3 brothers going to a funeral. So I can understand how it is going for that. There's a lot of regret, and oddly enough, the only thing that I really really appreciated about Darjeeling in being in the hands of sort of a director that could have supplementary material even before the movie was released. And Kat, you brought this up. Is the supplement that was with Natalie Portman, and it's about basically Jason Schwartzman and Natalie Portman breaking up,
having sex in a hotel. A quick little shorts. Yeah, you get to see Natalie Portman's ass. It's pretty good.
Well, and that's also how Kat you described it. You said the only reason,
which is why she won't do any more nude scenes. She thought that if people that's all people took away from the short, and I'm thinking,
well, they made her look pretty damn good. She should be happy.
I think the problem is that there's really not much to that short. It's like he's been
there's nothing to it
because he's been living in a hotel for a month because she hurt him or whatever, and she comes there and he gives her his hotel number and he tries to impress her with room service and drawing a bath and everything, and she apologizes like, "Can we be friends?" And he's like, "No," but then they have sex anyway, and then he gives her his bathrobe and they stand on the balcony in the end, and it's like, can you never learn what she did to upset?
It felt like it was like Wes Anderson saying, "Look, I'm never going to put a sex scene in a movie, so I just want to do this exercise in like the sexiest scene I can do," and like that's what it was.
But I think like Darjeeling came out after Aquatic, right?
Yeah,
and so I think that Darjeeling Limited was really the moment where Wes Anderson was like, "Oh, I can do whatever I want." And I think that movie may be more thoughtful, more introspective, but it is still visually stunning in the way that it does the tracking shots and how it shoots things on the train and how it shoots the scenery. I think they did it on location, and it is really, I think it is visually stunning. But after going from Bottle Rocket, Rushmore, Tannenbaums, and Life Aquatic, and then you get to the Darjeeling Limited, and everyone's just sort of depressed and going through the motions and angry. There is no, I don't find much levity in it, but I don't think that that's what that movie is about. I should probably see it again eventually. But yeah,
that's a great way to put it. Yeah, that's a fantastic way to put it. And actually, I think it visually looks the most similar to Bottle Rocket, where it's not super whimsical as far as your set pieces. It does feel more on location and lived in than sort of that play aesthetic that we were talking about. So that's good observation on that. Yeah, but yeah, all his other movies have been fun. I mean, Royal Tenenbaums has some sad elements to it, a lot of emotion in that movie, but it's fucking hilarious, So Darjeeling Limited is not that funny.
No. And that's something that came but that was also I like Life Aquatic, but when I was going into Life Aquatic, I was expecting something more along the lines of Royal Tenenbaums. And especially, I thought it was going to be Royal Tenenbaums turned up to 11 because instead of Gene Hackman, we were going to get Bill Murray, and it was going to be an adventure movie, and it was going to be like, oh my God.
That's
and
what
then
it
we
is.
I know that's what it is, but it's also layered under inches and inches of daddy issues and just failure. Although the Sue George soundtrack does do a lot. I like Aquatic. Aquatic is higher on the
Dude,
list.
that guy
runs in
doing
a lot of
the
his
David
movies.
Bowie songs is amazing. man.
Amazing.
That's
Sorry,
a
what'd you say, Kat?
That's a universal theme in all his movies, though. Failures and daddy issues and failed
True.
parents.
Yeah,
That is
Strange
true.
Kids, yeah.
But it's just something that was really driven home. By the time you get to Life Aquatic, then it's just like, oh yeah, no, this is going to be an all the time thing. All right, family.
Supposedly,
and
Cousteau and his cronies invented the idea of putting walkie-talkies into the helmet. But we made ours with a special rabbit ear on the top so we could pipe in some music.
I love it that like that song only exists in a Wes Anderson movie. Like that's just part of the score. And the more and more that scene goes on, you could literally see like Bill Murray's dick through that thing.
that wetsuits, man. You got to know what's happening. And then I guess after Darjeeling, I'm gonna go with Moonrise Kingdom. Let me see.
Wow, not a lot of love for that one.
Not a lot of love for Moonrise, just because, and I understand what he was trying to do with it, in terms of making that pubescent first love story kind of thing. I do recall being like, really, we can do this young, huh?
Yeah,
and
it gets a little. Yeah.
But again, it's the kind of thing that I think that Wes Anderson can get away with, and any of that baggage is what I brought to it, because I was like, "Oh, can you do this with kids?" But the thing is that it's not like it. It toys with the idea of sexuality. Is there an overtly sexual scene in that film?
No, the only thing he does that they share a kiss and then he pierces her ear, which is like symbolic, I guess, in the movie of like
Sure.
that kind of thing. But that's it.
But it's
Yeah.
very
And then he
earnest.
paints her in her bathing suit on the beach.
Yeah,
Right,
well,
like one of
is
his
it a
French
bathing
girls.
suit, or is it a bra and panties? That's kind of what it looks like when you watch the movie.
But still, because if you consider that they're contemporaries and they're the same
Yeah.
age, the baggage that you take to watching that movie, maybe it does feel a little voyeuristic, but also you separated the children's adventures with the troubles of the adults, and so I don't know. I think that it is a story of innocence, but I think that it does come off as being a little, well, as I said, voyeuristic.
Well, that's kind of more of an issue in Rushmore, isn't it? Because he's supposed to be 15 and she's 30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, the actors and they're over 18. Same with Moonrise Kingdom. But
Well, no,
yeah.
Jason was 17 when he filmed that.
Oh, okay.
And she was 29, but the ages
What's
are
her name again? Olivia
Williams.
Olivia Williams.
Williams.
She has some of the most beautiful eyes I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, she had a banger year. She had that in The Sixth Sense. Or wait, no, that was the year before The Sixth Sense. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
Digress.
Olivia Williams is great.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are my bottom two.
Okay, Kat.
Well, I ranked all 13 of them. How many do you want me to list first for my bottom two?
You can do 2 or 3, whatever. Yeah.
All right, I'll do.
I guess to stay consistent, do 2. You know.
All right, 2. Last place in 13th place, Isle of Dogs.
Yeah, when you hit me up on that message, I was like, "Oh, she didn't like it."
I didn't. So I mean, aesthetic wise, you could see that Wes Anderson's doing his thing. Trash Island is not a very interesting aesthetic to look at. I hated that none of the Japanese characters have their dialogue subtitled. He simplifies it to the point that it's almost like you don't need to hear what they're saying because the actions are so simple. But it's like anytime somebody has something complex to say, they have another character just translating it. And especially with the kid, when he goes on this quest to find his dog and he's reunited with it and he says all this stuff to him. And it's like the camera's on him for a while as he's talking to his dog, but he doesn't subtitle any of it. And it's almost like Anderson doesn't give any of the Japanese characters any emotional weight. It's just kind of like, whatever, they're cartoon, who cares? We're going to simplify it. Western audiences aren't going to care. And then having Tracy, the little American white girl exchange student, in there to save the day. It's like, really? Do we need that in this movie? That was kind of weird. And I liked the dogs, but I wish the dogs kind of figured more into the ending of the story. It's like, yeah, the kids kind of save the day. The dogs are kind of there, even though I like the characters. So I don't really care for that one. 12th place, Asteroid City. I really wanted to like it. I mean, it's definitely a stylistic choice that he cranks up the exposure, so it feels like almost like there's a white film on the screen while you're watching all the stuff in the desert. And because it's like very metatextual, it's like a play that's being like live broadcast on TV. It's like I wasn't really connecting with it. It's like, yeah, these are all actors doing this thing, and Ash. It's like, yeah, his wife didn't really die because they're just in a play, and they keep reminding us that because they keep cutting back to the black and white segments backstage, and he's like, yeah, I don't really understand what character I'm playing or what my motivation is, and blah blah blah, and it's like, I just wasn't taking anything from it, but it was very interesting to look at. Like
the Bill Murray dog and the Edward Norton dog are who I was liking the most.
Oh, that was in the other movie. I'm talking about Asteroid City now.
Oh shit! Sorry.
Yeah,
I went to the loo. My bad.
So I did like the alien scene though, and having Jeff Goldblum in his one little bit backstage as the alien, talking about his character. I thought that was kind of funny. I liked Edward Norton as the playwright. I thought that was kind of neat. But
yeah, ScarJo's
one little bit is good too. But I wanted to like it more. So those are my bottom two.
Okay.
So coming in next for me, Fantastic Mr. Fox. This has nothing to do with the quality of the movie. Joanne knows, I'm not a huge animation person, even though I do like the way this looks. I agree with Kat when you messaged me. I don't like the ADR doesn't match great, and maybe that was on purpose. I don't know. This was an earlier movie for him. This was after Life Aquatic. I mean, not early, like not yet in the middle of his career, but it was his first run at like a claymation movie. And I remember just being disappointed that he was doing it. And then watching it, I was like, that's fine. Can we have another like Tannenbaum's kind of movie next? So I don't really have much to say about it. It was good. I don't like Clooney's voice at all. I don't like his voice in real life. I don't like his voice in cartoons. Clooney's just a smug fuck, and he's just annoying.
Can I cut you? You've given me powers. Fuck off. How dare you say anything mean about George Clooney?
I don't know. He annoys me. He considered himself a movie star before we did. I think that's the most irritating thing about him. But next up for me is Isle of Dogs, which I like a lot more than Fantastic Mr. Fox, even though it's not as fun of a watch. It's got a depressing feel to it. And as a dog lover, it does kind of creep up on you, especially at the beginning when you're kind of figuring out like these dogs are left on this island. But I do like the animation more. I love the plane. I love the boy. I agree with Kat. So it's like there's a lot of stereotypes, but I think it was obviously on purpose. He's a very smart guy. Like the sushi cutting scene though is just amazing. When they're doing the sashimi and the sushi cutting, it's like it's glorious to look at. And I think it's a much more fun movie than Mr. Fox. But again, it's animation. I know John and I did review it and I gave it high marks, the day we saw it, but after revisiting it, it's not up there with the rest of them for me. So yeah, Fantastic Fox and Isle of Dogs are the next on my tier. So yeah. Scotty, I think you know what, real quick, since we went through a round, let's catch up real quick on the chat because I know some friends have joined. I represent this. I hope you're still here. Doesn't look like it, but you might be. Hello, Ben, Kat, Elvira, Scotty, and of course, fellow chatters. Lemon hello, RT. I love it that you call him that. That's what I call him. I like lemon pie. Yeah, you know what? I called you RT. Scotty, can you read this one, please?
Old Man Bird says, Isle of Dogs is the only one I had seen. My daughter wouldn't watch it because she heard it was too sad.
Yeah, it's not really for kids, so it's kind of hard to understand why it's claymation, right?
Is that really the only Wes Anderson film you've seen, Bird?
Guess so.
That's a very random one. Yeah.
Well, so wait, Fantastic Mr. Fox is a book by Roald Dahl, yes?
Yes.
And then The Wonderful Story of Harry Sugar.
Henry Sugar.
Harry Sugar. Whatever. That's a series of vignettes based on Roald Dahl. And one of the things that Roald Dahl was sort of famous for is that like his original stories they're almost like Brothers Grimm. They were almost like a little bit frightening for children. And so I can understand how Isle of Dogs being sort of a, oh, it's going to be sad. There's something about Wes Anderson that like, because there's usually somebody dies, usually that there's an open emotional wound. And there is just, okay, this is the reality of life, and you're going to have to pass through it either with whimsy or with care. And I think that, I haven't seen Isle of Dogs. It sounds like Isle of Dogs is just going in that same sort of Roald Dahl, life is hard camp.
Yeah.
Is that what I'm in for?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, like
yeah.
I don't feel like Old Man Bird's daughter and go in and be like, oh, I'm going to be.
But no, Old Man Bird's daughter. But it also, one thing that Anderson movies, sad or not, have is heart, and that can carry a sad movie a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah. But again, it's animation, so it's harder to get invested. For me, it's harder to get invested. But Old Man Bird, I don't know how old your daughter is, but Isle of Dogs wasn't the one you should have shown him. Should show her Life Aquatic, his most hard R movie. Continue, Scotty. Sorry.
With my next my next bottom two.
Or no. What did you just give two or one?
No, I haven't said what? Okay, so I don't know. I was just referring to what I was anticipating in terms of Isle of Dogs and just contrasting it with other films in this.
Oh, I thought you were going. Okay, so
no, I can go.
You're next. Yeah.
All right. Fantastic Mr. Fox. That's next. That's my third least. Again, this has nothing to do with the quality of the film. It's just that I saw it once for the novelty, and yeah, I didn't mind the like I compare Fantastic Mr. Fox to Rango. And Rango being a CGI, like it's basically Chinatown. It's a Western with hideous creatures, and it's got an all-star cast. And I find Rango to be more compelling, whereas
100%.
There's something about like with the Fantastic Mr. Fox, I felt like I was going into it and I was supposed to feel nostalgia for a style of animation that never really actually existed. And it may have emulated drawings and done it accurately and was an endeavor of technical precision because it was the vision of Wes Anderson. And all of this is fantastic, Mr. Fox, but it just didn't. I was like, yeah, I saw it. Great. And so whenever, like, I don't mind if people are like, yay, I love Fantastic Mr. Fox. It's like, great. It's just not my cup of tea because I'm a child. I like children's movies. Like I said, I watched the Peanuts movie. I watched the Rocky and Bullwinkle. Like these.
You love Kermit the Frog.
I love Kermit the Frog. Like, yeah, but then I watch this and I'm just not like it's the same. I think Fantastic Mr. Fox is on the same sort of like part of the wheel as Where the Wild Things Are by Spike Jonze. Okay. And it's like, I get what you're going for. And I saw it out of novelty, but it was like, you're either boring children or you're frightening or you're frightening them. Like, I just don't know. And I think that I think I've seen it maybe not better, but I've seen different versions that struck a chord with me more. So the Fantastic Mr. Fox, if you haven't seen it, I recommend it. But it's nothing special for me.
I think that's the thing with both of his animated movies is that they tell you that he doesn't care. He just wants to make what he wants to make because Neither one of those movies are for kids. They will bore the fuck out of kids.
Yeah.
I do think, what was the movie that you mentioned? Isle of Dogs feels more, Where the Wild Things Are. It's very much like sad creatures meet a human kid, and it's kind of sad. Like Where the Wild Things Are from Spike Jonze is fucking sad. That movie's sad. It's good, but it's sad. It's kind of the same thing. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just wanted to throw in that little thingy, my bobber.
And now I have to start killing darlings because we've gone through the ones that are like, yep.
Yeah.
And now I have to go like, oh, I think at this point, I would probably say for where am I? My fourth least? I'm going with Aquatic. And I've seen it twice. The first time was anticipation, because I was expecting the same sort of elation that I would get from Tannenbaums, and I didn't get it. And I was surprised by how disappointed I was, because I was like, how could this? And there were things that I was latching on to. I wanted it to be good. And it was, again, it's the Portuguese Bowie. It's like the cast is phenomenal. The high seas adventure, even the soundtrack on it. And I think that a lot of the soundtracks from all of Wes Anderson's movies can be praised.
Randall Poster, the
but
best sound supervisor in the business.
But I just think I loved it technically. I loved it in performance. I loved how it looked, and it didn't become the sum of its parts. So that would be a Life Aquatic. Good movie to watch every couple of years to find out if you like it now. That's my opinion of it.
All right, so 13 was Isle of Dogs, 12 is Asteroid City, 11th is Rushmore. I really didn't like the Max character. He was kind of a jerk, kind of a snob. You don't have as much of Wes's signature style yet. And it's like once he starts turning a new leaf or whatever, he's still hitting on the teacher. It's like, wait a minute. So we're meant to believe that you're smart enough to be excelling in all these extracurricular activities, but you can't figure out that the reason she keeps rejecting you is because she's twice your age and you're a minor. And he keeps.
I think that's the whole point of his character, though. Like
right,
he thinks he's older.
Goes on, and then even when he tries to get her and Bill Murray back together by the end of it, it's like, Bill Murray's playing his typical character who seems really emotionally detached from everything, even though he isn't. So I wasn't really that invested in whether he got him back together or not.
Yeah,
I like Brian Cox in that movie. I thought he was really funny, but he's not in it enough, unfortunately. And it feels almost like everybody wants to do their version of Catcher in the Rye, of the because we can't adapt that for because the rights aren't there. But a kid flunking out of school who's kind of narcissistic, a bit nihilist. It's like, okay, this is your take on that. But I thought his first film was a lot better. I'm surprised that this was his breakout film as opposed to Bottle Rocket. But yeah, that's a lot.
How good was the Vietnam War play though? Come on, that was fucking.
Well, that's the thing. It's like that was a joke I kept reading on Letterboxd. It was like, who's paying for the plays and all the stuff that's in these plays?
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah. 10th place.
So you were in Vietnam, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah.
Were you in the shit?
Yeah, I was in shit.
Sorry.
10th place, Fantastic Mr. Fox. For a lot of the reasons you said, it isn't even as dark as the original story. They really watered it down a lot. And they made changes because the foxes don't talk and stuff in the original story or whatever. But I did like the possum character, Kylie. Every time his eyes go like all squirrely, it's like the funniest thing ever. And I didn't think the farmers were nearly as threatening in the second half as they were in the first half. And the climax just felt really easy and simple for a movie called Fantastic Mr. Fox. And it feels like they're just kind of cakewalking through it. And you do have the whole father-son thing where the father's excels at everything, but the son's almost like the runt of the litter and feels the need to prove himself. But again, the ending just felt a little easy. And so it was okay. Not my favorite.
Just okay. Yeah.
But I enjoyed it more than those other three. So.
So next for me is the newest one, the Phoenician Scheme. I absolutely loved it. I think it's fantastic. We've already kind of talked about it because we talked about it beforehand on our little quick review, but Benicio del Toro should be in every Wes Anderson movie. He is a complete tour de force in this movie, but Michael Cera, every time he speaks, is so great. Like he's got an interesting character dimension because he changes, and we won't give it away, but he kind of plays two different characters in a sense. And it's really funny when he transitions, in my opinion. I thought this one was really funny. I love it's one of the best opening scenes of any Wes Anderson movie, on the plane, and then you just get this sort of cartoonish like blood splat when the original Professor Tudor gets killed. It's so
it's great.
Just see this like it's just so and then just Benicio just walks casually up to the cockpit, and it just like launches the dude out of it, and you're like, what the fuck just happened? You're fired. Just launches him out. This movie made me laugh a lot. I love the Bryan Cranston, Tom Hanks scene so much because you have Michael Cera and I forget her name. She's brilliant in this movie. The nun, the daughter. Nun.
Mia Thrippleton.
Yeah, she's fantastic. I mean, she's playing a character we've seen a million times in Wes Anderson movies.
Yeah.
But she still has like a sweetness to her, and her dialogue is very sharp. She's never one-upped by anybody. Like she's always like ahead of what they're talking about, And I love the scene where she's like, I've never had hard liquor. And he's like, this is beer, it's not hard liquor. And then when they cut back to them, she's had like 3 beers and he's still on like his second or whatever. And they cut back to him again and she's had more beers. And the basketball keeps hitting the window. like that scene is so Wes Anderson. I love it. And you don't even really know. I guess he makes the shot at the end, Riz Ahmed, is this his first Wes Anderson?
Yeah.
I think it is. Yeah. He gets the assignment. He's great. He's really funny. But yeah, they don't show the shot. And that's what Wes Anderson does. It's like it builds up to him making this underhanded, gigantic basketball shot, and we don't see it. But then in the next scene, we're told he made it. And it's like, okay. But I think my favorite scenes in this movie were probably all the airplane stuff, just the banter in the airplane when they're going from investor to investor. And Benedict Cumberbatch to me is probably the weakest part of the movie. If they had built him up a little more where you see him, I think it would have had a bigger impact. He looked so weird. It was jarring, like his eyes. And I know that was intentional, but I was just like turning my head away from the camera when they were closing up on Benedict Cumberbatch's face. It just looked so fucking weird. But I really, really enjoyed it. So that's next for me. And coming in after that is Rushmore. Every single thing that Kat said, I 100% agree with. But I think it's if Royal Tannenbaums is running, Rushmore is walking, whereas Bottle Rocket is crawling. Rushmore, it gives you the characters finally. It gives you those Wes Anderson characters, but not quite the aesthetic, except for what I was talking about, Kat, with the Vietnam War play. That's your Wes Anderson movie right there, but the characters all feel like, okay, this is where this guy's going with his writing. He's just not quite there visually yet. But Rushmore, I have a special place for it in my heart because I love Olivia Williams. Bill Murray, I think got a Golden Globe at least. I don't know if he got he didn't get an Oscar nomination, but he got a Golden Globe nomination for it. Or did he get an Oscar nomination? I don't know.
Not for Rushmore.
But he got a Golden Globe nomination. He's great in it, and it's his first Wes Anderson movie. And his very first Wes Anderson movie, he gets a lot of critical acclaim for it. So it's not a surprise that he kept moving with him. I think both of them think a lot alike, and I've heard that before. Like Bill Murray just respects the hell out of him. But anyway, yeah. So Rushmore is my next, and Scotty, your turn. Joanne, we're not skipping you, right? Like you've done all of yours, right?
I've done all of them.
I feel like I want you to say something.
How about another dad joke?
Hold on. Do you have one? Do you have one in the tank?
Yes.
All right, give me a second. Go.
What did one slice of bread do to the other before the race? Your toast.
Oh, well, you could put that in anything. Like, what did one slice of bread say to the other before the boxing match?
Right.
Why was the math book so sad? Because it had too many problems.
Oh, see, there you go, Scotty. There
Good
you
one.
go. Bringing it.
Why did the tomato turn red? Because it
Why?
saw the salad dressing.
That should have been like, why'd the tomato get bigger?
Why did the belt get arrested? Because it was holding up some pants.
That's great. These are good ones.
See, you brought them. You brought it. All right.
Is it my go?
Yeah, it's your go, brother.
So I guess this is one that I saw today, and again, no comment on the quality of it, because I think actually, Joanne, you may really enjoy this one just in terms of the set design and like the visual dynamic of it all. The Wonderful Story of Harry Sugar. It is, and again, it's The Wonderful Story of Harry Sugar and 3 more. So there are 4.
Can you say Harry Sugar again, Kat? I can see it on your face.
Fucking, I'll Google it if we got to find out what the title of the
Sugar
movie is.
sounds funnier. It sounds weird. You know?
Bob Sugar. Bob Sugar from Harry, or from Jerry Maguire. But yeah, no, it's really dynamic. I don't know if it was a COVID production, just because it does look like a lot of the time people are not necessarily matching up on eye lines. The production in terms of how the sets all fit together and work, it's amazing. It's
I think he shot that in 2022, so it might have been after, but maybe there might have still been restrictions. I don't know, but yeah.
But it does look like one of it is certainly framed like a stage play. A lot of one long takes with a lot of dialogue. As I mentioned, it's based on Roald Dahl stories, short stories, and they're good. There is heart to it, but it's just there's something about it. I recommend it if you haven't seen it. It's on Netflix, from what I understand, and so I would give it a go. But that is just because there does come a point where the Wes Anderson dollhouse aesthetic, it's like, I get it. Thanks.
No, but he's never going to change. So you got to be.
No, I understand that. I understand that. But as we go, this is like we go for like the kids movies, I guess, and then we're moving a little bit up, and we're getting to that very stylized area, which is, some people, that's their wheelhouse and that's what they prefer. I like it somewhere closer to the border where I can recognize the world and it's not as pageantry. But again, if I'm going into a Wes Anderson movie, it's going to be a pageant no matter what, unless I'm watching things that are higher on my list. And so that's Tom Sugar and his excellent adventures, just to make Kat angrier. And so,
I like Harry Sugar personally.
Harry Sugar.
Who doesn't like a little hair in their sugar?
Exactly. And then I guess I would, I think that after that, I would bump up and just say, again, no fault to it, but I would say it's the 1-2 punch of Ralph Fiennes. And I would say Budapest. I like it. But this is definitely snap zooms and production design. It's good. I like it. I'm not watching it every year. I'll probably watch it at Christmas time.
I watch it every Christmas day. I love it.
It is certainly a Christmas movie. Yeah. So again, none of these are things that are I would say are bad. I would recommend all of these movies, even the ones that I'm saying, meh, it's fine. I would still recommend seeing them just because they are uniquely Wes Anderson and they are pageants that you should check out. And also, a lot of them are clean and tight. Like they don't overstay their welcome. They may feel long, but then you check your watch and you're like, oh no, it was only 90 minutes. All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's yeah. So
great.
Harry Sugar and Budapest.
I need to watch the shorts. I haven't seen the shorts. But yeah, it sounds like you're recommending them. So
well, that's where they edit it together as one big 90-minute thing.
Yeah.
Kat, your turn.
And speaking of which, in 9th place, Wonderful Life of Henry Sugar and 3 more.
Gary.
The Swan storyline was really just sad and sadistic and evil, which is the most Roald Dahl story of the ones there. I liked Poison. Henry Sugar was good. My favorite was The Ratcatcher with Rafe Fiennes.
Really?
Hilarious. So I liked that one. Agreed with pretty much the rest of what Scott said regarding that. In 8th place, The French Dispatch. When I first saw this, I thought the first storyline was really funny. The second one I didn't like at all. I thought it was a snooze fest. The third one I thought was kind of fun. Watching it today, it wasn't really as funny at all, probably because if I see something that's really funny, it tends to only be funny once. But I kind of like the second one a little bit more than last time. Third one I liked more than last time. Holds up better. So yeah, it wasn't as bad as I thought, but it's still, I thought it was going to be further down on the list until I started rewatching these. So.
You and I have the exact same opinion. The first one is awesome with Benicio, and then the other two are the second one. You're just like, huh?
So 8th place, French Dispatch.
Okay, so moving on for me, I'm going to move on to Moonrise Kingdom, which I remember seeing. I want to say I saw it the same week that I saw The Dark Knight Rises. I think it was.
Still in theaters then?
Yeah, I want to say
2 months because this Moonrise came out May 25th. Rises July 20th.
Oh no, it wasn't. Oh, maybe it was Avengers because that came out.
Yeah, that came out.
It was a comic book movie that I saw, but I saw two. Me and Josh went and saw two in the same week, or me and John. Sorry. I just thought it was very sweet and it had a lot of heart. And I think it's the first Edward Norton appearance in a Wes Anderson movie. And again, he knew the assignment. He plays the role a lot differently than someone that comes in and wants to just play deadpan. He's got this sort of hopeless romantic type of attitude. And I want to say it's the only Bruce Willis that we ever get. And he's one of the best parts of the movie. he got the assignment. But yeah, I loved everything with the kids. I was fine. It was his first PG-13 movie that wasn't an animated film. And I was fine with that and I didn't think I was going to be. I was going to be like, oh man. Oh wait, no, I think Rushmore's PG-13 as well. Sorry, but I always just kind of associate his movies with more of like a hard R from language and stuff like that. And, but yeah, I just Moonrise Kingdom, I just found full of heart and hope and whimsical, sweet movie.
Rushmore was R.
It was R, yeah, okay. Next up for me.
Christ. So hold it right there, guys. Stay right there. Freeze! Come this way. Freeze. Come here. Up against this wall. Come here. Up against this wall. Move. Don't move. Right here. So just look at the ceiling. Just look at up against the wall. What are you doing here? We work here. You're always at lunch now. Not always. Yes, always. Time. Ah! Hold on.
This movie works because of Owen Wilson's performance in it, period. Like Luke Wilson's fine. I like the love story with him. It's a very strange. You've never seen it before. You'll probably never see it again. in a movie where a guy falls in love with like the person that cleans their hotel room, but it's very sweet. And I love when James Caan comes in at the end, and the movie just is. Again, it's just a bunch of dim rods, like trying to commit a crime, and it ends in kind of a realistic way, which I thought was great. There's a lot of actors in the movie that you never see again in Wes Anderson movies, because I think he was filling a lot of it with his friends that were also like, small time theater actors. But I love Bottle Rocket as a first movie. It's fucking great. And I remember in 1996 at the MTV Movie Awards, which to me is more credible than the Oscars these days. He did win best new filmmaker for that movie. And he said, and I quote, James Caan asked me, why is the movie called Bottle Rocket? And he goes, I don't know. It just sort of sounded cool. And then James Caan says, well, a bottle rocket's something that starts out small and then makes a big explosion. And he goes, okay, that makes sense. Anyway.
Thanks, Jimmy.
That sounds like something I know about. Something that starts out small and flaccid and then makes a big explosion. Whoa, never mind.
Hey.
And then Joanne caught the tail end of that. Yeah, so that's it for me. Joanne, dad joke or no dad joke?
I got one.
Hang on. All right.
Why can't dinosaurs clap their hands? Because they're extinct. Actually got a
Fucking
smile
dead,
on that.
dummy. What's
You guys
brown and
know
sticky?
what do you call a lesbian dinosaur? You guys know that one, right? Lickalotopus.
What?
That's
A
not fair.
lesbian
I'm a
dinosaur.
Lickalotopus.
Nice
Love
palate
that
cleanser.
music.
As we've lost our chat completely. No, we were getting dad jokes from the chat earlier.
Yeah.
Scotty, go for it, brother.
I guess I'm gonna go Asteroid City.
Yeah.
And like I saw it today. I really liked it. I didn't understand the ending, but then again, when the movie itself is questioning its own motivations, I'm like, okay, are you smarter than me? Am I allowed to not understand? Like, I didn't get what was going on. But what was that whole thing? Like, when was Asteroid City filmed?
2020, I think.
So that's more aligned with lockdown areas, but that's
Yeah, and
again,
you
that's
can
why
tell.
they're in
You can-
Spain.
You can
Yeah,
totally.
that would be before the
yeah,
French
yeah.
Dispatch even came out, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. No, Asteroid. I'm sorry. That was French Dispatch. Asteroid City came out 2023. So I don't know. Probably 2022.
I don't know.
Oh, that's right. I remember now. It was filmed between August and October of 21.
Okay.
So right
Okay.
around the time that French Dispatch was being released in theaters, he was off filming.
And I remember that when Asteroid City was released, some people, because there is a quarantine that happens in Asteroid City, and there is a bunch of stuff talking about what the government can do and how it's both back and forth. And I didn't know, like, I remember hearing reviewers at the time saying that there was veiled commentary on our current era.
Oh, I don't even think that was. Yeah.
But
yeah.
no, and the only reason that I wasn't paying attention to it, like I was paying attention to it because I had heard the reviews vaguely from when the movie came out, and then watching it today, I was like, I guess if you want to read into it that much, you can. But then
I don't think Wes Anderson has any interest in doing that.
But
kind of
there's
stuff.
this whole thing at the end, which I didn't understand. And it's like, you can't wake up if you never go to sleep. And they're like chanting it at the end. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Is that supposed to be deep? Am I an idiot? Don't answer that.
I was kind of confused on that part too. And I get what you're saying. Like, if you remember Grand Budapest, it's a narrative inside of narrative inside of narrative. You know, you have
Right.
F. Murray Abraham at the beginning, like telling a story, and then it goes to a narrator, and then it goes back in time. So I was trying to make that connection in Asteroid City. Like, are they making a play? Is this whole thing a play? Is that what it's supposed to be? You know?
Well, no, and that I think they're making a play, but we as the audience get the benefit of seeing it cinematographically, like in a cinematic way. And then they show the backstage, but then when it did, like, it almost seemed like a button that was sewn on in the wrong place, and it was like, look, we buttoned it. And it's like,
I agree. I agree with that. I was kind of lost on some of that stuff that went with that theater stuff, but I liked the main narrative so much that I kind of just like let it go.
Well, that's what it is. None of it was real. It was a play. It's just that they want you to suspend your belief to make you think that the production value of this play is, the way it is.
And Adrian Brody was the director.
Right, and then they break that when Jason Schwartzman's character walks through the back crater, opens the door to go backstage.
No, I understood that. I understood that was the mechanic of it. I just didn't know what was trying to be said with it, as opposed to look at the quirky characters.
I kind of agree. I kind of agree with that. It was kind of there, but I don't know why. But yeah, I want to say hello to Josh. Hey, Gulpers, just popping in to say hi. Josh, hang out in the chat because he is a huge Wes Anderson fan. He's just like me. We've seen the majority of them together. I remember in 2014 we went and saw Grand Budapest together. I remember because my tongue swelled up because I had too much ginger, and I found out I have some kind of weird allergy to ginger if I eat too much of it. But me and him have seen so many of them together, and we love them. And we saw it last night together. So, hey, dude, if you want to chime in. If not, thank you. Sorry.
And then I guess I'm gonna go. And the only reason this is because it's been over. When did Bottle Rocket come out?
96.
I have high regard for that film, and I saw it in 1998 on VHS. I don't recall. I know I liked it. I know I want to see it again. I don't have it. But yeah, that's next on my list because I did find it to be like that was in the era where I was finding things like, not all of these are not apples to apples, but these are like finding my Linklaters, my Tarantinos, my Kevin Smiths, my Wes Anderson. Like when I was started just devouring things from a video store, that this is one of those flicks, and it was like, oh, you got to watch it. And this was one of those movies that sort of like, oh yeah, that's good. That's not like anything I've ever seen before with characters I've never interacted with before. This actually connects with me. And I remember that feeling specifically with it. And for some reason, I've never revisited it. Maybe it's because it's like one of those things that I want it to belong to that formative era of my film journey, I guess, if I want to sound pretentious, because I do. But yeah, I think that I really have high regard for it. But again, this is based on the memory of watching it with my friends on a Saturday afternoon.
Perfect time to watch it.
Yeah.
Speaking of sounding pretentious, when I was in college, a lot of us, because Wes Anderson was like a huge deal at that point. Life Aquatica came out, and I remember the thing we would say is, are you, because a lot of people would say this back then, are you a Truffaut guy or are you a Godard guy? Because there was always this thing, butting heads. And we'd say, it doesn't matter. As long as you like one, you'll like Wes Anderson movies. Very pretentious. And I'm proud of that. Thank you. And good night.
Yeah, no. That's good. But the fight that, who directed Thin Red Line and Badlands?
Oh, that was the fucking,
Terrence Malick. I used to have a fight with a friend of mine, and he was someone who introduced me to a whole lot of movies. And I guess around the same time when Life Aquatic came out, and we used to have a huge fight. It's like, who's better, Terrence Malick or Stanley Kubrick? And he would be like, Stanley Kubrick can suck my dick. And I'd be like, oh, Terrence Malick gonna go film a tree. And
Terrence Malick takes 2-hour-long photographs.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Being pretentious and being snobs. That was the argument. If only we could have done a Truffaut.
I know you love cinematography, brother, but you got to tell a fucking story.
And you got to have characters.
Without it.
The people who are talking, they're over there, and you're just like, whoa.
I was so excited to see the New World, and I was like, I remember like looking around, going, "What the fuck are we watching right now?"
Yeah, no, but yeah,
I really liked Night of Cups.
I haven't seen that.
Neither.
That's another movie without barely a thread of a story, but the cinematography and the set design is great.
Yeah, I mean, Thin Red Line's beautifully made. If you would take that and then put a real script behind it, it could have been an Oscar winner, you know. But
well, but that, you know what, we'll talk about it next time when we do our entire retrospective on Terrence Malick.
That'll never happen.
14 hours, and it's mostly just going to be everyone's webcam looking out a window. So Bottle Rocket, again, like none of these, I don't want to apologize every time I rank them, because it's like they all should be number one.
Well, that's a sign of a good filmmaker, where you like all their stuff, where you're going like, you know, I love this one, but it's here, you know, like, we're not, there's nothing on this list, in my opinion, that's a bad movie. So, but Kat, your turn.
In 7th place, the Royal Tenenbaums. Gene Hackman's such a delight in this movie. It's like I wish that Wes had used it.
He hated making it.
I know he hated making it, and then Bill Murray had to step between him and every once in a while to defend Wes, because Wes was too meek to stand up for himself at the time.
I don't understand what the fuck I'm saying.
It's like one of your best late film roles, dude. It's, if not the best. So I liked his character storyline. I liked Chaz's story. I didn't really care for the weird love triangle thing with, you know, Bill Murray, Luke Wilson, and Gwyneth Paltrow. Mostly because Gwyneth Paltrow's character is just, no. She's like, there's nothing endearing about her. She's got the heavy eyeshadow. She strikes me like if she were a teenager, she'd be the person lying on her bed on her.
Oh, that's what makes her so sexy.
Like, she'd look up and blow like a bubble of bubble gum, just like, get the fuck out. Like, there's nothing endearing about her or likable about her. I'm like, and you want to sell me on this whole thing where he's madly in love with her, and it's like, I just didn't feel anything for that storyline. They did the funny thing where Bill Murray's trying to run this bullshit scam where he's, you know, studying this kid, but they didn't spend any time on it. I wish we got more of it. I did like the story.
It's not a scam. How dare you call it a scam?
No, it is a scam. It's
not a scam. He's sitting there and he's like, and the unreasonably sensitive hearing. And he says that from like 2 rooms away, and he's like, wait, I'm dyslexic?
I love that kid, man.
I think that's amazing. There's a dent in this cab, and another one there, and another one there.
And I like that the Owen Wilson character is unique, because it's like, as much as what Wes Anderson does stories about like dysfunctional families or whatnot, this is the only time he's done the thing where a lot of families will have this friend or family friend who's been there all along. It might as well be a member of the family, but they're not, and he hasn't really done that since then. And he's playing this other, he's hopped up on drugs and stuff, so it's kind of funny. But as much as Gene Hackman is a delight, Ben Stiller steals the movie with that one amazing line when he says, "I've had a tough year, Dad." And he finally, that really, that hits you really hard.
Yeah, it does.
But that was, but the Royal Tenenbaums is a fun movie. I just wish they didn't spend as much time on that other triangle story.
Owen Wilson had said he was playing the character like he was on peyote the entire time, and that makes perfect fucking sense. Because everything he's saying, it's like he's having a different conversation with everybody else that he's in the room with. It's fucking great.
I know. In 6th place, and I remember liking it more as I had only seen it once before now, so that was a neat to rediscover that one. In 6th place, The Grand Budapest Hotel. Definitely Wes's most successful film. His the biggest movie. His magnum opus, as a lot of people say. I don't know. I kind of agree with Scott. It's like production design, the movie. And I thought Gustav really broke character when, you know, Zero breaks him out and he doesn't bring his... You know, because Gustav's kind of a dandy, right? and then he just starts berating him and insulting him. What good are you? And blah, blah, blah. You're just some fucking immigrant, all this kind of stuff. I'm like, I get that you're commenting on fascism from the act, but shouldn't a line like that be coming from the actual fascists who are taking over the hotel rather than Gustav? Because it felt out of character for him to do that. Like, oh, we need somebody to say it. Let's just have him say it. And that kind of broke my immersion with it for a bit. I thought Willem Dafoe was pretty funny in this.
Oh my God.
Well,
yeah.
My favorite bit probably that got the biggest laugh when it really shouldn't is when Adrian Brody as Dimitri realizes that the painting's missing. He's like, "What the fuck?" And gets over
Boy with apple.
Boy with apple. I like that they commissioned somebody to paint that to make it feel like it, and they invented a whole fake backstory to it. It's fun. I like that the climax story kind of comes together well, but it.
Did you call it set design the movie?
Production design the movie. Yes, it's almost the most Wes Anderson-y movie.
It is the most Wes Anderson movie, but I like it for that. But I
like it. It's just I don't have that towards the top like a hell. Like, most people I've seen will put Rushmore and Budapest at the top, but
let's look at something that's never been done ever, and probably never again. But just the way Wes Anderson stages quote unquote an action scene. I just fucking love that scene, man.
And that's another movie like Asteroid City and French Dispatch, whatever, that's very metatextual. Because it's like this little girl's reading a book, and I can't remember what year she's reading the book in, but she's reading a book that was written by an author in 1985 about an encounter he had at the hotel with the proprietor in 1968. And the proprietor told him the story about how he came to be at the hotel in 1932.
Jude Law, right?
Yeah, Jude Law being the younger version of Albert Finney, I think. No, not Albert Finney.
F. Murray Abraham, which makes no sense.
No, not him. The older Jude Law one. Was it Tom Wilkinson or was it?
Yeah. Tom Wilkinson opens the movie. Yeah.
Right, and so it's like kind of metatextual Russian doll thing they're doing there again. So that's where I put those two Tenenbaums and the Budapest kind of in the middle.
I love that. So let's see. For me, everyone's pretty much said everything I've had to say about it. So number 4 for me is now we're in my top 4. Asteroid City. And I didn't think it was gonna, when I first saw the trailer for it, I didn't think it was gonna, I was like, it looks fun, but how can it compare to some of these other like great movies? And it turns out it was one of his most creative movies. Like Scotty said, there's that stuff that kind of confuses you a little bit with like, yeah, it's a stage play, but why are we doing this like chant? And it was almost giving me anxiety, Scotty, at that scene where they're like, there's this thumping going on. I was like, what the fuck is this? But the stuff that happens at Asteroid City, and Kat, I would almost call this one production design the movie, but again, it's all intentional. When a scene opens up, it whip pans to this flat shot, but it doesn't feel flat because there's so much, like Joanne said, color, and like you're looking at what everybody is doing in the frame. And most of the time they're just like this. They're stoic, because that's a Wes Anderson character. But Asteroid City to me was like, it was the first introduction to Scarlett Johansson in the Wes-Verse, and I think she was one of the best characters, if not the best character in the movie. It's good to see Schwartzman back in like a lead role or a semi-lead role. It had been a while. Schwartzman hadn't been in I think it had been about 7 or 8 years since Darjeeling or whatever. He might have played a minor role in something else. I can't remember. But the only thing lacking for me in Asteroid City was no Bill Murray. And everyone was like, why is it? Did they have a falling out? It's like, no, he just couldn't make it. Because he'd been in literally like every other movie. They just timing didn't work out. For me, the number one, so you have your aesthetic, cinematography, writing, direction, acting, And then for me, the most important thing in a Wes Anderson movie is making sure Bill Murray is in it.
Yeah.
Schwartzman's been in all of his films since Darjeeling.
Yeah, but just like blink and you miss it parts for some of them, I think. But after that, the clip I just showed, Grand Budapest Hotel was my favorite movie of 2014. I thought it was a nice return to form for him at that time because of the Darjeeling and then that short that we're talking about with Natalie Portman. Yeah. I just, I respect your guys' opinion completely. But I do think the movie is very layered. I think it was one of his last movies to truly have a lot of comedic beats. And the thing I like about this movie the most, and I wrote this big review for it on Letterboxd, where he created this like fictional place that exists between these two battlegrounds, this war going on, and the Grand Budapest Hotel is this safe haven from that, but it's just about to be taken over. So you have this like underground tension throughout the entire movie that any day that it could be invaded and the hotel could be taken over, and Gustav could be killed, and yet it's got the whimsical, goofy dialogue and funny scenes. And I always call him Tony Ravioli. I think that's his name. The guy plays Zero. It's Tony Revolorni, but I call him Tony Ravioli. Whatever. But he's great because he's F. Murray Abraham. He's F. Murray Abraham. Yes. So the movie ends up just so heartbreaking at the end, just with a little line of dialogue. Spoilers, like, then they killed Gustav. And you're just like, fuck, that's the gut punch of Wes Anderson movies, is throughout all this humor and goofy fantasy world stuff, like something just nails you right in the stomach,
And the wife and the kid.
Yeah. Oh, it's so sad. I thought the movie was kind of brilliant, personally. So yeah, that's number 3 for me.
Well, I only have 3 left.
I only have 2 left.
I have 5.
Well, you guys are. I guess you guys are counting the shorts. I never saw the shorts. So.
Well, I got 5 left.
Okay.
Features, but you go next, Scott.
Okay.
I'm curious what I missed.
What's left for you?
Yeah.
Well, I'll get to it when it's my turn, unless you want me to.
No, I know. I don't know. Maybe I should check out the filmography on the thing.
Yeah, no, I thought I'd seen them all, but
no idea what the hell you're talking about. The A&E biography of Wes Anderson. And so,
where are they now?
So I guess I would go of the movies that I've seen, my 3rd favorite is The Phoenician Scheme, the one that I saw today.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing that one again. And I think that it is, in terms of the performances, it's great. And it also, I don't know, it grounds back to reality at the end of the movie. Like the epilogue of it is the most realistic thing about the whole movie. And I like that. I was going to
say that too. Just the silence of them sitting in the restaurant and stuff. Yeah.
Like I just thought it was a nice breath of fresh air that it all worked out for everybody, but in a way that you didn't expect. And it was also, even without grand revelations, it's just characters coming to realizations about themselves and their own relationships and how they see themselves in the world under the eyes of God. And so, yeah, in this case, played by Bill Murray. So it is fan. I thought it was really, really good. And it directly relates to my number 1, but my number 2 is Rushmore, because after seeing Bottle Rocket, going into Rushmore, seeing Bill Murray after having seen him in that elephant movie,
larger than life.
Yes. And having sort of the man who knew too little. Like,
that movie's pretty good, actually.
I haven't seen it in a while. I don't actually, you know what? I don't even think I've seen it front to back, because I think it's just bumbling Bill Murray. And it's I don't know if I want to watch it. And so, like, right at that point, it was almost like a return to awesome for Bill Murray when Rushmore came out, and everyone was like, "No, we should go back and check it." That I think Rushmore is something that for me really cemented how awesome things like Stripes and Ghostbusters were. Quick Change, like his more acerbic performances, and then you watch Rushmore and you're like, yeah, this is Bill Murray, not the goofy guy mugging or the warm your heart with learning a lesson because of a repeating time loop. Like, I just found Rushmore to be, that's when I found out that I really, really admired Bill Murray, not just as a comedian, but also as a performer. And then everything, like in terms of that framing, that sardonic humor, it wasn't just Bill Murray in that, because you did have such a foil with Jason Schwartzman, with Max. And everything about that movie is, it leans towards my sense of humor. It's mean, but it's also hilariously mean. And then people do get put in their place for their absolute selfishness. And so it is sort of it's a movie of fractured souls. And then some of them find some peace, but not in the way that you think you would. I think it's great. And then I guess to turn my screen back on again, number one is the Royal Tenenbaums. The Royal Tenenbaums, and I think that part of the reason why Phoenician Scheme is so high up is because it reminds me more. It's not overly produced. With Phoenician Scheme, it's much more sets. It's not things opening up and crossing. It's a lot more creativity with camera movements. And with the Tenenbaums, the Royal Tenenbaums being a family portrait, I enjoy all of the storylines, and I think that they're all, like, the one that would make me uncomfortable is, you're in love with your sister, adopted. So, like, there is that sort of disassociation and the provisos, lawyer speak to make comedy, but all of the characters are so colorful and realized, and the soundtrack is fantastic. Like, Royal Tenenbaums is number one with a bullet for me as a Wes Anderson movie. Gene Hackman. And oh my God, is it Mr. Little Jeans in Bottle Rocket, who is the same actor who plays Gene Hackman's?
Kumar Palana. He's in 4 of his films.
Yeah,
the guy that who stabbed him.
He plays Pagoda in the Royal Tenenbaums, the valet.
Yeah,
He's great.
He's Mr. Little Jeans. He saved my life from a stabbing. Who stabbed him? He did.
He's a hired assassin. But like he played Mr. Little Jeans in Bottle Rocket. I don't. He was in Rushmore. Was he Mr. Little Jeans in Rushmore?
In Rushmore, he's he's like the gardener on the campus, and when Bill Murray's brakes get cut in his car, he's driving around and he's using his rake to try and slow down the car up against the wall, so he doesn't. It's like, why don't you just jump aside? But he tries to use the rake to stop him from getting pinned to the wall. So that was funny.
Yeah, it's so awesome. I love that actor. I think
he's great. Kumar Palana is great.
Yeah, and so, but yeah, favorite of all time Wes Anderson movie is The Royal Tenenbaums.
Love it.
All right.
And Bumpmaster 1 is here.
Oh, cool.
Hey, Bumpmaster. Life Aquatic is the best.
Can't
All right, guys, pack it in. We don't have to do anything anymore.
We still
Go ahead, Kat.
All right. In 5th place, the Darjeeling Limited. I really like this movie. I like the characters. I like the story. I like the way he portrays India. It almost like the colors already lends itself to kind of Wes Anderson, so he just lets that do, like, he doesn't do arbitrarily color filters or anything like that. I like Jason Schwartzman's character and the stuff that's going on with him and Owen and, well, Adrian Brody I thought was particularly good in this movie. And I kind of like how quirky it is and trying to see where it's going. Yeah, Natalie Portman does have a blink and you miss it cameo at the end where she's on the train, because the train stops at one point and Schwartzman gets off to make a phone call. and his brothers know he's calling his girlfriend, and they both say they don't like her, but we don't find out why, and they never bring it up again, and we never see her again except in a cameo at the end. So that was kind of
I never even noticed that.
right, which makes the prologue film even more unnecessary. And on the Criterion Blu-ray I watched, you have an option to watch them both back to back as one thing, so I did. But that was still kind of like, okay, whatever, that didn't need to be there. But I just really enjoyed it. I thought the humor was good. The stuff that happens is kind of fun and funny. So very Wes Anderson to me. So I take Darjeeling Limited. In fourth place, I have the Phoenician Scheme.
Yeah.
I take back what I said earlier. I think that is the most Wes Anderson movie. Every single
It's
shot,
up
even
there.
like there's certain movies where maybe he'll cut a little bit and it might not seem as much, but every single frame of it, total Wes Anderson. Benicio del Toro is great as a lead actor.
Yeah,
Michael
he is.
Cera is just tailor made to be in that. The humor, all the stuff we mentioned before. I didn't expect to like it this much, but I was really into it. So yeah, the Phoenician Scheme is my fourth. That's really good.
Yeah, I'm happy to hear you say that because I just saw it last night. It may move up. It's just so new, but it really is one of the most Wes Anderson of Wes Anderson's. Like help yourself to a hand grenade, and
I love that. Help yourself to a hand grenade. You like a
help
hand
yourself to a
grenade?
hand grenade. And the hand grenades are so cartoonish looking,
Oh, yeah.
So I'm moving on to my second favorite. And that for me has to be Life Aquatic. I was recently just accepted to to the college I ended up going to, and I had about 6 months before I was going there, and I've been a film nerd my whole life, but I just got so much more immersed into just seeing every single movie I could, and I don't know. It was Bill Murray's one and only real showcase as the lead in a Wes Anderson movie. And I feel it brought him back to life, at least for a while, until he decided to fall asleep in every movie again. But everything that you wanted from the trailer is in the movie. The trailer was so well done. I mean, it used Starman from David Bowie, and Queen Bitch from David Bowie is in the movie. Like, there's so much great. I found the dynamic between him and Owen Wilson. Like, Owen Wilson, Luke Wilson seems like a good dude, but Owen Wilson is such a superior actor to him. And I know a lot of people take Owen Wilson and just go, wow, like that's his whole thing. No, he can do kind of anything. He's done it before. His bread and butter is playing the Owen Wilson persona, but I love how he's like this pilot in this movie, and he smokes a pipe, and he's got this little weird this little pencil mustache, and he's just trying to meet his estranged father. And there's this great scene in the movie where like Bill Murray's like, okay, I guess you're my son, let's go to dinner. And they go to dinner, and the waiter is gonna he's showing him a bottle of wine, and Bill Murray goes, don't ask him, he doesn't know anything about wine. And you're like, okay, now like right out, because Steve Zissou is a complete fucking asshole, total asshole. But there's so many scenes in this movie where you see his heart and you see what he's really all about, and Bill Murray sells those scenes where he's literally crying, talking about how much he loves the sea and how much he loves what he's doing and meeting his son. And he's so well intentioned, but his manners change, they disrupt that. And I think it's one of Bill Murray's most layered performances. Even if on the surface you're like, he's kind of playing this like Bill Murray asshole. He's not. Watch it again. He's really, really, he's got so many things going on in his mind. He wants to fall in love with Kate Blanchett, and she has no interest in him whatsoever. And he gets all jealous of his son. But then in the very next scene, he's like worshiping his son, like wanting his approval. And then when spoilers, this movie's 21 years old.
Pretty old.
When Ned dies, it just changes the movie. Like I always talk about those gut punches with Wes Anderson movies. Like it's all comedy. It's like this weird, wacky world that Wes Anderson created where these oceanographers that make documentaries about themselves are like the most famous people in the world, you know? And that's the thing I love about Life Aquatic. It's like, there's this lore behind everything. It's like, oh, he's a washed up oceanographer, videographer, documentarian. It's like, is that a thing? In this movie, it is. In this movie, it's like the most famous thing in the world. You know, like, and then when you get that helicopter crash scene, the whole movie shifts. You know, and I know I get it. It's at the end of the movie, but when they find the jaguar shark, which I love, like the whole movie is like based on him, Bill Murray, wanting to go out and find this shark that killed like his first mate, who you never really see or know anything about. But
I love the shock, how shocked everybody is. Oh, you want to document this shark? No, I'm gonna, kill it. Why?
I'm gonna kill it. Yeah. And just God, it just, I feel like the movie, like every character, like Angelica Houston, sort of playing the same character she did in Tannenbaums, but with a little bit more sass and not so much like sadness. And then Jeff Goldblum in his debut of a Wes Anderson movie does not disappoint. He's hilarious with his little underwater bass. And like, he has some fucking great lines in this movie.
Well, and what an incredible antagonism between, you know, our hero Steve Zissou and Jeff Goldblum as being his foil. And it's just like, in a million years, I never would have thought, okay, who are going to be arch nemesis?
Yeah,
well, Bill Murray and Jeff Goldblum, duh.
Well, and basically, like Wes Anderson recreates the meme that we've all seen of Jeff Goldblum's chest in Jurassic Park, and basically has his chest open the whole movie, and you're like, damn, Jeff Goldblum's like, he's fucking ripped. You're like, holy shit. I think the movie is way more layered than people give it credit for. Yes, it's Wes Anderson, it's Bill Murray being Bill Murray, but Bill Murray has, like, I want to say 5 different emotional shifts in this movie. And that's what makes it so fascinating. And again, I said, it's that first Wes Anderson movie that really shows architecture from different perspectives and dimensions, where you see the boats. It's so amazing. And then they just create all these fake sea creatures, which is so much fun. Like when on the beach, like all those things are lighting up, and he's like, yeah, these are, I don't know what the fuck.
He thought they were electric jellyfish, but then he gets
electric jellyfish. And then you just see random things in the ocean. And then when you finally get to see the jaguar shark, like Scotty was saying, then you get your animation portion. I think this was the first movie he did that in. And then they play a Sigur Rós song during that scene. Sigur Rós by itself just builds emotion. You know, that's the whole point of it. And, you know, they're underwater in this ridiculous, like, submersive fucking bubble, yellow fucking submarine. It's basically like the Beatles' Yellow Submarine.
Oh, for sure.
I don't know. I think that movie's absolutely fascinating and creative. But yeah.
Well, and
Scotty,
in terms of Bill Murray, like, one of the things that I like when we talk about these kinds of things, because, like, again, Bill Murray kind of got noticed around Rushmore, and to a certain extent, there was buzz about him in Kingpin, and he was hilarious in it. But people were saying he was playing sort of against type. He wasn't playing a likable character. And then he was
playing Bill Murray.
And then you get to, but again, people were starting to take notice of Bill Murray again. And then you get to, you've got Rushmore, and then you've got the Tannenbaums, and that's completely against type for Bill Murray. He's almost playing the earnest and honest version of Peter Venkman in terms of being the scientist in Tannenbaums. And by the time, and I'm trying to remember where Lost in
He was
Translation.
playing Peter
once.
Venkman if he actually cared about something.
Yeah. But like, where? Hey, Booger.
Hey,
But
yeah,
like,
Jacques Cousteau is a big part of the. Yeah.
Where was Lost in Translation amongst all of this in terms of where
2003. It was the year before this.
So it was the year before this, and because I honestly think that there was a slight snub towards Bill Murray for Life Aquatic, because it was almost, we had seen a couple of him doing the consider me for an Oscar roles.
Yeah, he lost to I think Tim Robbins for Mystic River in 2003, right?
Was it Tim Robbins or was it
I think it was
Sean
Tim
Penn?
Robbins.
Yeah, it's Tim Robbins.
No, Sean Penn was
Sean
lead
Penn was
actor.
lead.
Yeah, I think he lost Tim Robbins, which I understand. Tim Robbins was fucking great in that movie. But Life Aquatic to me should have been the movie he should have got a nomination for. It's just not the kind of movie, I guess, that. But that's not true though, because like,
Well, he
Grant
got
Budapest
nominated
got
the
a
year.
shit. Yeah,
He got nominated the year after that when he did the Broken Flowers.
I like
Did
that.
he get
movie.
nominated for Broken Flowers?
He did.
That's a good movie. It's a good movie.
He did.
So let me go. We're running we're running a little late. Let me finish my final. If you guys haven't noticed, I haven't mentioned it yet. It's pretty easy to know.
I'm taking my time, but I don't know where. Come here. See me and Julio down by the schoolyard.
That's in my top 15 movies of all time. Royal Tenenbaums is a masterpiece. It's
Figured it would be your
a-
number one. That's why you kicked me off the show.
What's that?
I figured it'd be your number one. That's why you kicked me off the show. And
Oh yeah. Well, you know, there's a million reasons why. One, because I think I was obsessed with Gene Hackman when I was a kid. Like I went back and rewatched, or not rewatched. I watched him in the 70s. I watched him in the 80s. I watched his comedies, his dramas. I even love Loose Cannons. He's great in Loose Cannon. But I found this role to be his definitive role of his career for me. And you know, it got to be one of his last roles, not his absolute last role, but one of his. And it's kind of a bummer that he didn't see it while filming it, because he did get nominated for Golden Globe. I think he won the Golden Globe for it.
He did.
Yeah, he did. And it's like, you know, maybe you should have just, you know, kind of taken this in instead of been such a pain in the ass, because look what it got you. And it's
part of it was that he worked for scale on it, and he was upset about that.
Yeah. But it's 50% because of his acting and 50% because of the character that was written for him, which is absolutely amazing. Everything about Royal Tenenbaum is complex, and it's the first Wes Anderson movie that really delves into the complexity of that with family. And I definitely think it's Luke Wilson's best performance of all time as Richie. I love Richie. I think he's fantastic. I love it. I've dressed up as him for Halloween several times. With the suit and the headband and the glasses, and then just carry a tennis racket, and then nobody knows who you are.
Yeah.
This one has the most emotional gut punches in a single movie that's a comedy of Wes Anderson's, where it's, well, all his movies are comedies, but the Richie suicide scene is hard to watch. It's wonderfully shot. The color palette of the movie completely shifts to this sort of blue gray. I mean, the fact that they actually, that probably was half the budget right there, just showing how realistic that looks when he slits his wrists. It's like, holy shit. And they're playing an Elliott Smith song, which was not cheap, to license, but God damn. And I did a film, my third ever Film and Vinyl show that I did was on the Royal Tenenbaums, and it's one of the highest viewed ones that we did, because soundtrack's amazing. I there's two montages in this movie that we actually learned in film school, like the one that I showed me and her, fucking what are they called? Fucking what's his name?
Uzi and Ari.
No, yeah, I was gonna say the two fucking the two guys that hated each other, the singers, the duo.
Are you talking about Simon and Garfunkel?
Yes, Simon and Garfunkel. Sorry. Yeah, I was brain farting, man. Yeah, Simon and Garfunkel, and then the one with Judy is a Punk from the Ramones, which is one of the best montages I've ever seen in my entire life, because it abruptly ends and Bill Murray goes, "So she smokes." That's all he got it, because they're opening up this file on her life, and it's like that's all he got out of it. Anyway, I can't say enough about this movie. The last thing I'll say, aside from just like, I've said this throughout you guys talking about it, like the house is beautiful. I agree with Kat. Ben Stiller is so good. And just him and his tracksuit mafia kids. It's so fucking funny. And that ending where just like Royal has really figured out his life. And you have that, it's been a hard year, Dad. And he goes, I know it has, Chaz. And he puts his arm on his shoulder, and then the dog gets run over. But that's a Wes Anderson movie. Like the dog gets run over and you just see the leash.
and he buys the firehouse.
Yeah, he buys the fire dog, the fire Dalmatian. It's so sweet. It's so sweet. And
But just to be on the dogs. So when Snoop died, the way I announced it to everyone is that I said, unfortunately, Snoopy was killed rescuing a family from the wreckage of a burning battleship. Royal Tannenbaum's epitaph. That's what I put up to honor Snoop.
That, man.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Snoopy.
Yeah, R.I.P. Royal Tannenbaum and Gene Hackman for that matter.
Yeah. Last thing I'll say.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, Kat. Go ahead.
I was saying that's another thing I liked about that movie is when they finally call him out for the ruse of pretending to die, and he says initially as a lie, "But no, these last 6 days have been the best days of my life," and then he freezes for a second and he realizes, "Oh shit, it's true," and it's like that's kind of sad.
He has the best lines, like when he's like, "This is my adopted daughter," and then when he's like, "Well, why didn't you invite me to grandma's funeral?" Well, she wasn't your real grandma, so I didn't think you'd care. Yeah. And then when he meets Danny Glover and they have that confrontation and he's being super racist. And then when Danny Glover walks out, he goes, "Man, who was that grizzly bear?"
But I like that's one of the things just in terms of even costuming is that the way that you meet Danny Glover in the Tannenbaums, he's profile for like half of a scene for an entire scene, but then you see him from the front and he's got a band-aid on one cheek that you were not privy to because he was filmed from one side for like the entire thing, and then it's just like, oh, we've been I didn't know about whatever that is. It's just an interesting choice visually to startle the audience. I loved it.
Well, and Danny Glover, there'd only been 2 Wes Anderson films, but in his one and only appearance, he understood the assignment. Like I keep saying, he's so good. And I love when he's talking with Angelica Houston and he just falls down this big construction hole and he gets up and he's like, "Oh, I'm fine. And Danny Glover, his entire career, he's been playing people older than he is. I don't know why. But
no, I thought it was really, really great.
I love the Stephanie Says scene when Mordecai comes back. I mean, the music in this movie to me is the best there's ever been. That's why I did a film and vinyl.
Yeah, man.
It's just fucking perfect. And when you see Gwyneth Paltrow come out of the bus and like Richie's just staring at her.
These Days by Nico.
Oh, I couldn't play that when I did the film and vinyl episode. They were immediately copywritten me for that shit. They're like, "Fuck you, no Nico." I'm like, "Really?" no, Nico. But last thing I'll say about this movie, and then
no, but I just want to say, in terms
Yeah.
of Nico, Kat, the reason I'm in love with Margot Tannenbaum is because she walked off of a bus to Nico. That's it.
Well, I think she's like super sexy. In this movie.
She's one of the original Manic Pixie Dream Girls.
Well, I love it that like they're so worried about her killing herself. Like when Angelica Houston walks into the bathroom and she's in the tub smoking, she's like, "Is that the TV?" She's like, "Don't worry, I have it
tied to the radiator."
Tied to the radiator.
She hasn't been in one of his movies in a long time either.
I think that's her only one.
Angelica Houston. No, Angelica.
She was in Tannenbaums and Live Aquatic, and I think that's
and Darjeeling.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, she was in Darjeeling.
Yeah.
I'll finish up my favorite by just saying that my mom and I used to go to the movies together all the time. It was just something that we did because life at home wasn't always wonderful. So whenever things got rough, my mom would just put me in the car and we'd go see a movie. And when I got to my adulthood and stuff like that, when I was in the military, whenever I was home, we would go see movies. And we went and saw this movie together. She was sick at the time, but she lasted for a while after this. But it was one of those family movies that, but she had a good, I think I got a lot of my taste in film from her because she understood the movie, she liked it, even though she's a little quirky. But I do remember us going and seeing this in San Clemente together, and that might be a little bit why I'm so high on it. But yeah, that's definitely a thing I always remember is that we did see this together. So yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is true that, sometimes whatever you're going through at the time that you see a movie, it affects, what you think your opinion is.
Sometimes it makes you hate a movie that's really good. It depends.
Right. Right.
So Kat has more?
I have 3.
Yeah, oh, no, she's got a bunch more, I think.
I only have 3 more. So third place, Bottle Rocket. I love this movie. It's fun. It's funny. All the characters feel like real people. He hasn't really started his style yet, but I kind of wish he would go back and make a movie like this again. Really stripped down, really cheap, and be really creative with it. And I wish he brought back Robert Musgrave for more movies. I love his character, Bob Mapplethorpe, and how feels so believable and real. It's why didn't you bring that guy back? He was really cool. I even saw a featurette on the Criterion Blu-ray where the actor who plays the guy who sells them the gun for the robbery, this Texan guy, he's like, yeah, I like his movies. I wish he'd call me up to be in another one. But this was
Do you have the Criterion Blu-ray?
Oh, I forgot. I was going to show these off through each one, and I forgot about it. I had.
So there's a Blu-ray for Bottle Rocket, really?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god! Shit. Of course there's a. Yeah, here's the. He got his brother to do all these covers too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, I've seen that cover. Yeah.
Oh, is it part of a box set?
Rushmore? No.
Do you have all those in front of you, Kat?
Yeah.
Can you show them?
Yeah.
She is.
So Bottle Rocket.
Nice.
Damn it.
Not me.
I'm trying to do what you. I'm trying to do what you did.
Okay.
Get Scott off the spotlight. There we go.
Damn it.
I'm trying. Fuck.
Sorry.
Yeah, Criterion with a 75-year plan written out in full inside the booklet. And that's another thing I love. It's just so bonkers and zany, and it's God, I wish he'd make more of these. Rushmore. That's
nice.
There.
It's kind of a boring cover.
Yeah, a little bit. The Royal Tenenbaums.
I love that with Mordecai. That's great.
Yeah, Mordecai go fly. You have the entire blueprint of their house in here that you can unfold and look at.
No, oh, dude, yes. I hope they do that with Life.
The DVD.
Do they do that with Life Aquatic for the ship?
I think. Let me check here. So we got the Life.
Oh,
Aquatic.
Dude, that I got to get that if they do.
I believe so. Let's see. I got it here. Let me open it up.
They have to because that's like showing the whole ship was a huge part of the movie.
No, they did not.
God damn it. Fuck
yeah,
that.
I know.
Okay.
That's the
physical media is now dead.
I have where is it? It's I got it. It's right here somewhere. Where'd it go? Oh, here we go. The Darjeeling Limited.
Nice.
This
Cover's
one-
more fun than the movie.
This actually has a layout of all the shit that they bring with them for some reason, but that's a good one. Fantastic Mr. Fox. This is a different type of case.
Yeah, I don't like it.
It kind of folds out and it becomes like a hassle, but you have all the neat character designs and stuff in there. Grand Budapest Hotel, another one where it slides out and kind of, the ones with the booklets don't really stay in because you slide it and you open it and it's everywhere. So they have that.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
Moonrise.
So is it like
Kingdom.
cardboard with like plastic interior? Okay, Moonrise, yeah.
That's another one built in that same design, and those.
But those are still Criterion, though, yeah.
Yeah, they're all Criterion Blu-rays, and these are the only ones I have. I do not have Isle of Dogs, French Dispatch, which will both be coming to Criterion in September, and Asteroid City is not slated for Criterion yet because it's still too early because they wouldn't be able to get the rights yet.
Wasn't that like a Universal picture as well?
I don't know.
No.
But that leads me to my second favorite Wes Anderson film, Moonrise Kingdom. I thought that was a very magical movie.
Yes.
That's kind of like what you guys were saying earlier. When it hits you at a certain time in your life, I loved that movie when I saw it in 2012. I didn't have any friends anymore.
She's the only other one that likes as much as I do. Yeah.
I had internet friends at the time. I had no face-to-face friends anymore for 5 years straight because I was at junior college. It sucked because it was a commuter school. Something about that movie just I love. How do we exit gallery view?
What? You done with your show and tell, lady?
Yeah, I am done with the show and tell. But
all right, then.
I love it. And I think it's the best soundtrack. Alexander Desplat, and that was just really. The locations were really gorgeous too, especially since they found that actual bay that's there, like for real and everything. And Bruce Willis, like you said, he's great in this movie.
He's great. Yeah,
he's great. And then unfortunately, we don't see him again. And same with Frances McDormand. It's her only, or no, she's in two of them.
No, she was in French Dispatch.
But it's like that was. And I like the story that it doesn't waste any time getting right into it. Like these two kids, one ran away from camp, the other ran away from home, and it's like you're invested immediately, wanting to see what's going on. We don't waste any time fucking around. It's like we're off to the races. So I like that. And the whole Noah's Ark analogy at the end with all the during the storm and all the kids, all the camp and everything's wiped out. So that was well done. And my number one, his most unpopular movie with critics, which I think is wildly underrated, my absolute favorite. The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou.
Yes!
This movie, everything is firing on all cylinders in this movie. I don't think it's unfocused like a lot of critics say. It's really streamlined. I love Willem Dafoe's character in this film because he's so needy and kind of says,
"You picked him instead of me."
I'm always tired of being on the B team. Why am I always on the B team? He's like, because I trust you. That's why we need somebody leading the B team. He's like, really? He just makes up for it.
Oh, he's so fucking good.
He's checking the logs to see who's got what task. He's like, who's supposed to be on watch? Well, who the fuck is Kingsley Zissou? Right? Jeff Goldblum's scene stealer is Alistair Hennessy. I love when they get the interns to rip off all of his stuff. And then later in the movie, he's like, wait, is this my espresso machine? And they're like, oh yeah, man, maybe.
Take that. Yeah.
He's like, oh, so Steve, you got attacked by pirates. Probably the same fuckers who ripped me off too.
I do love the naked intern. I mean, come on.
That's funny.
That gives you an extra star right there.
And you think that she's going to be the one who's going to be the most hippie or lackadaisical, but she's the first one of the main crew who wants to jump ship. And I like the, like you said, the structure of it. I like that all of the sea animals are actually not even real species. Like everything is, it's like fake, and it's done like stop motion animation. So that was really cool. Michael Gambon.
It's based on a different world, basically.
Yeah, and Michael Gambon's character is the financier. I thought he was fantastic. He voiced one of the farmers in Fantastic Mr. Fox, but other than that, he didn't come back for more films. And then Bud Cort is the Bond Company stooge, like they put it that way.
Yeah, it's always nice to see Bud Cort.
And then when they burst in on the pirates, and they're just, Hennessy and the stooge are just playing cards with the pirates, and he's like, Steven, have you come to rescue me? So that was and Angelica Houston, total boss in that movie. Awesome.
Yeah, she was. She was super hot in that movie. Yeah.
And that was also a one and done for Cate Blanchett in Wes Anderson films as well.
Yeah. She was playing like she was overly tan. Remember that? She was like super
it's like
tan.
it was like they were also trying to make her seem almost unflattering in a way, because even the way her hair's done, the way she dresses and everything, it's like, no, you're not gonna succeed at trying to make Kate Blanchett look less than stunning. It's just
Well,
like
it was
it's not gonna happen.
weird. It was weird that they made her like pregnant.
Right.
When I don't think she was really pregnant. It was just part of the story. Like Bill Murray, creepy Bill Murray, like hitting on this like younger pregnant woman.
Yeah, that too. But, Bill Murray is totally on fire in this movie as well. I don't
Fire,
understand.
dude.
I saw this for the first time opening. I saw it Boxing Day 2004 with my friends in a packed theater, and that was really fun. Great memory, a great movie. I don't understand why it didn't succeed or why so many people had a problem with it. So yeah, that's tip top of the peak for me.
Oh, Kat, I love you so much because that was my second. I just can't get over how much I love Royal. But
and I'm glad I rewatched.
Wait. I have a question.
Yeah.
What do you mean it didn't succeed?
Like it didn't make a lot of money, and all the critics hated it.
Who the fuck cares how much money it takes?
It had a
because Scotty, like Royal Tannenbaum's got like best screenplay. It got a bunch of like nominations, and then
so
like
critical rejection. I understand.
Yeah,
and
no,
also,
there was fan
I don't
objection.
care about that. I don't care about that stuff. I'm just saying that's what the critics said. You know, like.
And I responded emotionally when I asked, "How do you define success?" And you were like, "Money," and I was like, "Fuck money." But you're right in terms of accolades that were afforded to Tannenbaum's. They were largely they were sour.
I think if you're somebody that really loves Wes Anderson movies, you fucking love this movie.
So I was hanging out with a bunch of people at the time when I saw this too, and it was totally like it was the bee's knees. Everyone loved it. I felt like an outlier because I was like, it's okay. It's no Tannenbaums.
It's been having a real resurgence lately, and that's good.
Hey, great, good. I have a copy of it. I haven't watched it in a long time. And I had this assignment.
And it's funny because before I did this marathon, I had them switched. I had Moonrise Kingdom as my top and Aquatic as my second. But going back and rewatching them just this week and years later, it's like I flipped them around again.
What?
And so that's interesting. I've had Moonrise as my top for 15 years almost, or 13.
You know, I think time changes a lot of things, and like Life Aquatic has definitely become more of like a favorite amongst a lot of people, but it just the ending with only Wes Anderson can make this like full blown goofy like submersive pod go underwater and see a jaguar shark and all these other weird things, and then show so much, and then watch Bill Murray break down because of Ned, and Ned's not there to see it, and see everybody put their arm on his shoulder, and you're like, God damn. This movie has so much heart. It's so much heart. Like you have characters that are like kind of despicable, but at the end of the day, you just like you're sucked into that shit. And I don't know who could do that other than Anderson. Like that whimsical feeling, that comedy, that drama, and then add goofy animations. Like it all works when he makes them. You know,
well, it's also funny because you also find out that spoilers, but he's not his son because his wife. Yeah, because his wife's like, Steve shoots blanks. It's like, okay, they're not there, but he's also feeling for Esteban because he came there to kill the shark, and then it's like they're all. It's like a nice moment of change where he's not gonna, and he does mention that I'm out of dynamite as like an excuse, but it's like,
well, and the ending is so great when he is sitting outside of his own like popular documentary, and then this kid comes up and he just grabs the kid and puts him on his shoulder, and it's like the rest of the movie is just them all walking. It's emotional.
Great.
And the closing credits, I think it's Bowie's Queen
It's
Bitch.
Queen Bitch, yeah,
that plays, and that is I will go to my grave saying that Wes Anderson homaged, because he didn't rip anybody off, he homaged the ending to Buckaroo Banzai.
Yeah, I know what you're going to say. Buckaroo Banzai, right?
Yeah, man.
Well, you have Jeff Goldblum in there. I mean,
oh, shit, I
sorry.
didn't even realize you got both. Oh, my God, there's a connection. There's a 1 degree of Jeff Goldblum. But yeah, no, fantastic. What am I going to say?
Oh,
No, Cat, you're wrong. Life Aquatic stuff.
No, dude, well, it's my second. It's very neck and neck for me. I just Royal Tenenbaums just hits me a little harder. But man, so anybody still watching? Oh wow, there's 10 people watching.
Lots
Thank
of
you so
people are
much.
watching. It's so good to see you
Thank
here.
you
Booger's
very
here.
much.
Booger actually was hoping.
Do we have
speaking
any,
of,
Scotty? Do we have any chats that we want to? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, what about Bob's? One of the
It's one of
best
my
dark
favorite
comedies
movies ever.
One of the best dark comedies of all time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
wonderful.
a great one.
If you
I've
guys
seen
want
it
to,
10 times.
well, if you remember, Joanne, I made a What About Bob horror movie called Baby
Yes.
Steps.
I remember that.
It's a trailer. Yeah, you can find that on the channel.
Yeah.
Can't you play it?
It's deep down in there, man. I did that
All right.
the year we started the channel. I'm not going to look for it,
No, I will.
but it's so good. It's that good.
It's worth looking for.
Oh, you know what? We haven't done this yet. We got to do this before we end the show. Yeah, that's got to happen at least once every episode.
With a transparent stripe on the shield.
Isn't it? It just sounds, well, we say this every time. It's a piece of plastic. Why not make the sound design make it seem like it's stronger than a piece of plastic?
I don't know.
They don't care. Scotty, were you going to say something?
No.
Okay. Anybody else have anything going on? Oh, Scotty and Kat, what do you guys have going on? You're finishing MI, right?
No, we already did that.
Oh, you did it. Okay. What do you guys got coming up?
We really don't know.
Oh, really?
Friday.
No,
is
Friday
the
we do have a
13th.
plan.
What is
So,
it?
Friday's Friday the 13th. So we're gonna do a fun hangout video. I'm gonna do an unboxing video, and then hang out and talk. Shoot the shit or whatever. Maybe there are other guests we might be able to get on for the hell of it for Friday.
Yeah, so Friday the 13th hangout. We're gonna do an unboxing for your James Bonds, and then
maybe we can get Black Phillip Alvarez to show up. He's a Friday the 13th fan, horror fan.
we could.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no. So it's basically it's a Phantasmagorium hangout over there, and then also
Ben's coming and everybody who wants to come can show up.
more than
We'll send
welcome.
the links.
And then also on Friday afternoon, are you coming to talk about 7?
Oh yeah, Friday. Yeah, Friday morning at 9. Yeah,
And so we're going to do that on Jill's channel, and that'll be a different kind of unboxing.
You'll have to send me a reminder messages about that. So.
I will. Don't you worry.
Joanne.
Yes.
I got a couple more here. Okay. Without nipples, boobs, it would be pointless.
Why don't seagulls fly over the bay? Because then they'd be bagels.
I like it.
Who won the neck decorating contest? It was a tie.
Shut up.
What did the pirate say when he was asked about the steering wheel in his pants? "Arr, it's driving me nuts."
Why did the bicycle fall over? Because it was too tired.
That's all I got. Any more?
Good one. I think that's a good ending.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Go see the Phoenician Scheme. It's really good. It's really fun. And what I have coming up, me and John and the new member of Cinema Gulp, Newcomb, we did a show based on 3 golf movies: Happy Gilmore, Caddyshack, and Tin Cup. And it's going to come out right before the mostly anticipated awful film, Happy Gilmore 2, going straight to Netflix, which I assume is going to be awful, but we'll see. So we have that coming. And for anybody that was annoyed or definitely did not want to sit through 8 hours when we did our what was it, action producer
bracket.
Fucking bracket. I have cut it down to 2 hours from 8 hours. So I'm going to be putting that up sometime in the next week or so. Cut out all the bullshit.
Dude, that's all my best stuff is the bullshit.
No, there's some of it. The banter's still in there. I'm cutting out just us sitting. Well, mostly like, just
don't worry about it. We'll find out. It'll be better.
You'll find out. Anyway, everybody have a good night. Thanks, guys. This was great. I had so much fun. Hope you did as well. Joanne, Kat, Scotty, love you guys. We drink your
perfectly
cinema.
Safe myself. We drink your cinema. Yeah, fucking right.